from the National Legislature. We had a quorum last night. More than 37 lawmakers appeared at the scene to identify with us. My many family and friends that appeared on the scene as the fire was raging. My special warm and heartfelt thank you to former President George Weah, who not only opened his home to us temporarily, he left what he was doing, came immediately to the neighborhood. He blessed me with 3 suitcases worth of clothes and other things. The former President George Weah, who not only opened his home to us temporarily, he left what he was doing, came immediately to the neighborhood. He blessed me with 3 suitcases worth of clothes and other things. So thank you to former President George Weah, who not only opened his home to us temporarily. He left what he was doing, came immediately to the neighborhood. He blessed me with 3 suitcases worth of clothes and other things so we can manage to get to work and live our life. I'm grateful to him. Those are material things. They will be replaced.
In the war crime course is important. We need to have it. I think murderers, rapists should not go with impunity. I think they should account for their sin. I think thousands of Liberian people bloodstill cry to heaven for justice. We need it. But what is our priority? So I bring back what Amy Coney Barry, right? The United States Supreme Court Justice. I bring back to the conscience of Mr. Bouaka. Mr. Bouaka is presiding over a divided country. What is his skill of preference?
You also say that no car should get stuck in the mud. The roads in Liberia sound bad, but to invest in the roads, you need money from somewhere. So how do you plan to pay for better roads?
I mean, if you live in Europe, you know every year there's going to be winter, there's going to be snow. So for the roads during the rain season to be bad is not a surprise. So what I am saying is based on my own experience, year after year, cars are stuck in the mud, people can't move. You know the impact that has on health, on education, on people movement, the prices of goods. So I said that at least within the first 100 days, we should be able to make all vehicles move on our roads, not paving them, but to make sure that we remove all the bad stuff, fill them up, and make it possible for people to move. That's what I said, and that's what we're working on.
Nothing will stop this legislature from doing the Liberian people work or doing that which we believe in our good conscience we should do on behalf of our people. If you want to stop us, then burning a house is not the solution. You got to take my life. That's the only way. So I don't want to unnecessarily speculate on those kind of things. The investigation will show what went wrong. I have confided in no one about receiving threatening messages. Yes, I have received them, but I don't think I have confided or shared them with anyone. The response time to my house was about 2 hours. And they came and were not fully prepared, although they were gallant enough to try to do the best they could. I did not mention the LPRC did extremely well. There was another private service there. I'm trying to get their name. Honorable Musa Belete had a private service there that also did extremely well. So those 2 groups, while they arrived very late, were the most effective. But the fire service did all this. I think we need to have a professional system on how we arrange response times to fires in our different areas and our different neighborhoods. We need some study to be able to develop that kind of system.
What it's now trying to demonstrate is that even CDC were more democratic and supportive and respectful of free expression. Everywhere around the world, democracy encourages free expression. If you think Yeke says something that was not correct, you have your Minister of Information, you have your press secretary, they can go on the C radio and clarify and say, Yeke ain't talk true. You can't expel somebody or remove somebody from the legislature because they express a view that you don't like or use robust words to describe the president. You know, look, brother, I don't know why these people are so intolerant. You know, tolerant is what? It's not just accepting view, right? It's accepting the view that you don't like. Why Yeke has said, we may have problem with You know, yeah, they sat down over there. Seeing people sat down over there applauding Yeke. He said all sort of things about we are condoning. We are saying, no, this is democracy. I have to have thick skin. I have to absorb some of the angry people in this country. Yeke is not pleased with Boka's conduct. Yeke feel let down. He feel betrayed. He's frustrated. How does he express his frustration?
Because according to them, we have ongoing ties with Mr. Taylor, and I can challenge them. The only reason you put me on sanction is that we're married, if getting married to somebody will put you on sanction, and that's justice, sorry. Nobody interrogated them. Today, some of our colleagues saying now in the session today, are placed on sanction. And in the sanction regime, they say, oh, you talk to your colleagues. And when they see you talking to them, you are threatening to go on sanction. If that's why we are signing this economic crime code for today, I will sign it. But let justice be done. At least today, we're talking about taking people to court. They are putting our colleagues on sanction here today. And people are rejoicing with all due process. They went to the Supreme Court and asked the Supreme Court to disbar Councillor Vani Sherman because he was sanctioned will not practice law in Liberia.
They wanted to know what we've achieved in fire service, how many people we employ, what we're leaving undone, and what are the other engagements that we have done, we have out there. So they came to find out and they want to know the number of things we are leaving in the institution.
What did you report to them?
I have a document here to present to them, and we got to be giving them some document giving them the number of staff, the number of staff we met, and the number of staff now we have currently, because when we came into the system, we had 623 personnel, and now that we are 783. When we came here, other people were earning up to about $65 per month as take-home pay, and now today, you find people now earning not less than $150
without due process. And when you thought they said we'll put you on sanction, I'm ready today to go on sanction. But let us speak justice. Let us speak justice. Pretend this country, whether we like it or not, is divided on green and blue lines today. Take it anywhere. Liberia is perhaps more divided than it has ever been. Or blue line or green lines. And like my colleague from Great Legend said, our agenda is war and economic crime code.
I'm one of the proponents in propagating the proper agenda, the PAPD. Then today you say, what are you open to offer? You supposed to ask me not gonna English?
Are you being supported?
My brother, I'm saying, don't ask me that question. I think the party is under the obligation.
To do for you?
Yeah.
But they aren't doing.
You ask me and you want me to be monotonous. I think...
Are they doing for you?
I say, I think the party is under the obligation.
That expression means they aren't, they ought to.
I say, the party is under the obligation.
They are doing it for you
man,
directly.
You speak good English, man. I beg you. Let's move on.
You don't want to come straight.
Honorable Sam Andrew, I don't know what you mean. I said the party is under the obligation because I'm one of the progenitor.
Don't trouble nothing too much, you know.
1, 2, 3, I'm loving you. 4, 5, 6, I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9, I want you back. 1, 2, 3,
I love you.
4, 5, 6,
I'm missing you.
7, 8, 9,
I want you back.
Here within my arms again.
Long time no see. Out your love, I'm lonely. I miss you, and it's too hard to bear. What have you done to me? I'm waking up in the middle of the night without you, and it's so unfair. I toss and turn, reach for you, only my pillows. Soon awake, the morning Sun rises, but I'm alone. Hurts me so.
1, 2, 3, I'm loving you. 4, 5, 6, I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9, I want you back. 1, 2, 3,
I love you.
4, 5, 6,
I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9, I want you back.
And certainly we are. You got it.
It shows on
It's another day again for the show.
scissor.
Good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you so very much that you join us for the show. Bits and pieces on Voice of Liberia, 104.1 Morovia. Voice of Liberia, 90.7. Bon County, Voice of Liberia, 89.7. Kakatama, Gibi County. The online radio in which you can follow the show from wherever you are around the world. www.voiceofliberiaradio.com. We are transmitting from Capital Bypass, Morovia on this 15th day of April 2024 in the mystery country with mystery fires all over the place. Some have placed it at the feet of spiritual event or spirituality. Some say just natural. Well, since there is no understanding, it is a mystery situation. My name is Sam Andrews. Edwin Dry is here. Patrick Saar is on the camera. So together, we are at your disposal until 5:50.
Here within my arms again.
Long time no see. Without your love, I'm lonely. I miss you.
Okay, time is of the essence. We've got a couple of issues to talk about. And today is a sunny day, but it is a day that is having some kind of toll on everybody. If you check it right, people are exhausted, fatigue has set in, and they cry about Monday. Oh, Monday not too good, and a lot more, and it try badly.
Yes, that's how it's like, Monday.
Yeah.
What happened like yesterday was a very headache day for us.
Yeah, at the stadium.
Yeah, at the Antoinette Tottenham Stadium, we have to go there. The entire team was represented.
Yeah, it was a whole day affair.
Yeah.
You guys did more than well.
Ranging from the morning up to 6 o'clock in the evening. It was kind of a headache for us, But then, however, we did what we could on yesterday. We play our part, and even manager Kutu Sound is not too okay.
Yeah,
He
he's
has to
down.
go-
Yeah,
yeah,
he's down.
He has to
He's
go take a
down,
rest.
yeah, and then even Sekou, the CEO, he just tried forcing it this morning too.
Yeah.
But
It wasn't
it's
easy.
not- he just tried forcing it to come this morning and do the show.
So,
And then the weather also, everything is having a toll on the human.
yeah,
body.
the human body, that's like you said, is true because the body will want to get used to certain temperature, and after a couple of time, you observe that it will raise again to another level. If you can experience a heavy pool of rain, you will experience, that kind of heat. If not heat, then you also start to experience another temperature. So it causing the human body to also be, suffering from that kind of fatigue. You suffer from that kind of heavy sleep, tiredness. You experience all those in the body because the temperature is being changed from one stage to another,
Certainly.
and the body is not used to such temperature. So you experience a lot of difficulties, especially the cold. Fresh cold will come in, fresh cold will go, headache will come.
Yeah.
That's how it's like.
Okay, so as it is the custom of the show, let's recognize those of you who have come on. But just so you know, at 4:30, firefighter expert. I don't know whether that is how they are called. I'll try to look it up as quickly as can. But he's one of the best in Liberia. he been in the fire service sector for a very long time. I thought to, given the wave of fires across the country, I thought to bring in an expert on that to go into the fire service, out of the fire service, vis-a-vis the other areas, and what we need to do. When I say we, I mean every one of us, because couple of fires yesterday, and then yesterday, the rear yesterday was the speaker before him, Sir Joseph, before Sir Joseph, several other houses and churches got burned, schools. So
this is alarming.
Yeah, I thought from a broadcast standpoint to bring in the expert to explain. So at 4:30, though it was difficult getting him on because those professional people in Liberia, it's so hard. I don't know why it is in Liberia. You find it very difficult to get those professional people, but in other countries, they are always available. However, thank God Almighty, he consented to be here because it is a national emergency. We declaring it national emergency. The government don't see it as a national emergency. The president would declare drop national emergency. So we declaring the fire
as emergency,
national emergency.
And you're right, Sam. We're looking at the nature.
Yeah. So it is our proclamation. Yeah. It is Voice of Liberia proclamation. Yeah, it is Voice of Liberia decree.
Yeah. So and
he will be in Gabriel.
It's just appearing at time to laugh with it, but it's serious.
Yeah.
This is not something that we should take lightly.
So Gabriel Mann, he will be in at 4:30 to talk about what is it, the fire service, why they have not been able over the years to tackle the many fire outbreaks, what has been the situation inside, and then he will come. So he will give a panoramic view, perspective of that. So you want to follow that conversation this afternoon. He is one of the best Liberia has. Thank God I was able to get him to consent to come in. So let's recognize you have come on. Victoria Dwedi Bryant Tay, you've come on. Thank you ever so much. You're following from Minnesota, the United States of America. Charles D. Gray, you've come on from Elfie Sinker. Solomon Kiwibin, you've come on from, you say, Old Road, Divine Town. Jeremiah Gay, you've come on from, you said, the Republic of Nema County, that's good. Prince Zion, you're following from Marshall City, Lower Magibi County, Roberts Fee Highway, City of Hope Community. Papi Keita, CDC, Pape, Success Keita from Duport Road, Emmanuel, that's S. Emmanuel Fire, you've come on from Lower Magibi County. Okay, you said this is your debut on the show. It's good to have you. Thank you ever so much. Doris Jabo, you've come on. You didn't say where, but you are on. That is the most important thing. Eugene Jobo, you've come on. Thank you ever so much. And you have a lot more to say about the country. We'll read your comments. Don't worry. We'll read your comments, but we are acknowledging you as you have come on. So those who are not following online and listening to the radio will know those who are online as well. Ansmana Kamara, you've come on from, you said, Minneapolis. Ada Zoning, you've come on. Thank you ever so much from LPRC, where you're following from. Moses Lake, you're following from Kakata. And Isaac Wozin, you've come on from Doe Community. Alhaji Fofana, you are following from Central Matadi, and I recognize you, DJ. All right. Okay. And who else? That's Samson Derio Newville. You're following from Grand Bassa County. That's Lac Plantation. Thank you. And James Pele, you've come on. Jackson Pony of Iron Factory, you've come on. Thank you ever so much. for coming on. I appreciate all of you. Stephen Coker of Minnesota, the United States of America, you've come on. Thank you. Okay, so let's get started with the issues we've got to talk about. The first of them all, which is the topical situation, which is topical rather, the burning down, the mystery burning of the Speaker's house. Every day you wake up in the morning, at the close of the day, you're going back home, the night falls, and you fall asleep. You don't know what's going to happen. Nobody don't know. This is, I can say, to a mystery wall. You will not know what's going to happen as you drive from one end to another, board a plane, get on shape, make plans that you're going to do this, you're going to this place, you're going to come back this time. Nobody knows what lies ahead. Only God knows. No one knows success, because you can plan success, and then it is greeted with disaster.
Disaster.
Yeah.
It turned the other way around.
So you can make a plan successfully and you don't know what lies ahead. Only God in heaven knows. So the Speaker did not know that was going to happen. His family did not know. None of the people around him know to give any sign of a light. But it just happened. And it was a real damage, very unfortunate. And what did he say? He was strong enough to call. I thought he was going to give it a day, but this morning he was at the legislature. He called a news conference to explain what happened, and he said what he felt he needed to have said in that press conference. And one of the things he said, besides his introduction, which is to say, okay, this happened, it caught us unaware, thank God my family and I, we are alive, and this is, these are materials, things, they will come back. He will say all of those things around there. But the news there will play all of those things, but journalists go for the news. Everything is in news, especially when it involves a prominent person. So he was asked very significant questions around that. One, whether the wiring was faulty in the house. Two, whether it was a planned attack, politically motivated. Three, whether he suspects someone wants to get rid of him within because of what came out lately, his vocal stance on the war crimes code, that is no turning back. And he will dismiss all of those. But one of them, he will talk about the death threat. But before then, he will acknowledge the president did call him, and they talked for almost 15 minutes. President Weah ran on the scene, according to him, and President Weah provided him 3 suitcases of clothes to be managing in the meantime, as you say, in Liberia, and other people who will make calls from wherever they were.
The president called me last night from bombing, talked for about 20 minutes. He expressed very sorrowfully his regrets on the incident. It's appreciative to him. First Lady called, we talked for about 5 minutes, and then she and Dama talked extensively. My colleagues from the National Legislature, we had a quorum last night. More than 37 lawmakers appeared at the scene to identify with us. My many family and friends that appeared on the scene as the fire was raging. A special warm and heartfelt thank you to former President George Weah, who not only opened his home to us temporarily, he left what he was doing, came immediately to the neighborhood. He blessed me with 3 suitcases worth of clothes and other things so we can manage to get to work and live our life. I'm grateful to him. Those are material things. They will be replaced.
Okay, that's true. And then he went on to to confirm after the question was asked, he went on to say that he had been receiving threats. He's been receiving death threats, but he kept them confidential, very confidential. I don't know why one will receive death threats and then you keep it confidential, but that's what he said. But let's start from the onset of it or the post-burning.
And yeah, like you said, right, it appears very mysterious where you will see an honorable person house, gotten fire. The reason people will think and try to figure out the reasons and might not just grab the reason is that fire is something that no one has control over. Fire is a term in other way as a disaster, and when such a form fire will blaze, people would not have control over the fire. So the reason it was former, let's say, the senators are Joseph, and yesterday evening at about 8 o'clock, it was Fonati Kofa, Speaker Fonati Kofa. So the thing here now is we don't want to politicize everything, but we want people to understand too that some of these things too can happen from the spiritual angle. Considering the number of fire disasters that have occurred, in the shortest period of time, I don't want bringing it from the regime of this president, but I want to say since January of this year, the fire disasters in our country is on the increase. There are too many homes burning down, too many churches, schools burning down, and the root cause is yet to be discovered. The school burn, nobody there got anything concerning copper or firework, nobody doing anything there, no gasoline there, school burn. When you go check, the wiring of the house, everything will be in tight. And what actually getting to people that we can understand how this whole fire issue is running down is that Senator Sir Joseph isn't the kind of common person who would just take any ordinary wire and have it placed in the house. Speaker Fonati Kofa isn't an ordinary person who would just take any electrician or any form of wire to say, go and run wire in my house. And besides, he would like to invite or like to give out no contract to a company to do the wiring of his house. You will have, the real guarantee wire in the house. So, Fonatikova don't have what we term it as a copper in the house. He's not having gasoline in the house. But all of a sudden, you just see, a big house like that catch on fire in no time. The fire will just get very big that no one will have control over until they can burn everything down. It happens to the Senator Sir Joseph. The thing here is, whenever fire catch up a house, it will not just catch immediately, it start to get very big. It will start to burn gradually, and there'll be a sound in the house where you start smelling the smoke. Smoke will be all over. When people get to know now, they start blowing alarm. So you're not telling me the very big house of Representative Fonati Kofa or Speaker Fonati Kofa will just catch up the fire, and without anybody in the house observing that fire is on the house, without smelling the smoke, without even the dwellers in the community to observe that smoke is raising up in the sky.
Accident can occur at any time, anyway, whatever the magnitude. That is the reason why it is referred to as accident. You can have a full mansion. Mm-hmm. You can have the best of wiring. It doesn't say that you are exempt from any accident.
No, you are not exempted. You are not exempted.
That can happen, but it is that can happen in a rare instance. And if you we put it on, say, those other places that look some kind of way, the kind of faulty wire to make sense. But such a person, his wiring, because that's the same thing. People started suspecting, and some people even reached conclusion in no time that Sir Joseph wiring was not done properly. And so they attributing the same thing to the speaker's house. But all of these fires, we have not had a least understanding. At least if you will have an understanding from one or two, they say, but nothing at all. Nothing at all. We agree that, oh yes, accident can happen, but to say the speaker house, no, something is happening somewhere. Something. You will put it on his spiritual, say, has spiritual implication.
Yeah, that's what I want to believe too. Yeah, that's what I want to believe. And let us not take this for joke, right? It happens to anyone, but when it's occurring simultaneously, that means it's drawing the attention of other people, and our clergymen will have to take into serious consideration to pray for our nation.
Okay, you will continue with that. Well, let's bring the full version of the Speaker's press conference. When I say full version, it's not the 35 minutes, but just within the main points.
Last night, I posted on my WhatsApp status the following comment. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. We are officially homeless, the Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Unfortunately, last night, my family and I experienced a devastating fire at our home. In the past few months, many Liberians have experienced devastating fire. Some have lost their lives. Unfortunately, nothing happened to any one of my family members, and I'm grateful for that. But this is just to say these incidents are not confined to a certain group or a certain class of people. Until we fix our broken system, until we do those things necessary to help our people, we cannot save ourselves. I want to say thank you to everyone, specifically the president called me last night from Bombing for about 20 minutes. He expressed very sorrowfully his regrets on the incident. It's appreciative to him. First Lady called, talked for about 5 minutes, and then she and Daman talked extensively. My colleagues from the National Legislature, we had a quorum last night. More than 37 lawmakers appeared at the scene to identify with us. My many family and friends that appeared on the scene as the fire was raging. My special warm and heartfelt thank you to former President George Weah, who not only opened his home to us temporarily. He left what he was doing, came immediately to the neighborhood. He blessed me with 3 suitcases worth of clothes and other things so we can manage to get to work and bring our life. I'm grateful to him. Those are material things. They will be replaced. Thank God there was no loss of life. The t-shirt you saw me with came from one of my neighbors, ordinary citizen. We do not know the cause of the fire. A friend of mine who is an insurance investigator in the U.S. is going to come on Wednesday. The fire service is investigating, and according to the government, said they will ask for additional help in the investigation. But there's no faulty wiring in that house. I don't know, and I don't want to overly speculate on things. Nothing will stop this legislature from doing the Liberian people work or doing that which we believe in our good conscience we should do on behalf of our people. If you want to stop us, then burning a house is not the solution. You got to take my life. That's the only way. So I don't want to unnecessarily speculate on those kind of things. The investigation will show what went wrong. I have confided in no one about receiving threatening messages. Yes, I have received them, but I don't think I have confided or shared them with anyone. The response time to my house was about 2 hours. And they came and were not fully prepared, although they were gallant enough to try to do the best they could. I did not mention the LPRC did extremely well. There was another private service there, I'm trying to get their name. Honorable Musa Belete had a private service there that also did extremely well. So those 2 groups, while they arrived very late, were the most effective. But the fire service did all this. I think we need to have a professional system on how we arrange response times to fires in our different areas and our different neighborhoods. We need some study to be able to develop that kind of system where response time and capacity match each other. I just said we need to have a plan mapped out by professionals on how we solve these things, and then we need to capacity that.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, that was just what the crust of the press conference he called today. It lasted for almost 35 minutes, but that was the crust. Every other thing was just empathy and encouragement. So there are a couple of things I can pick up. We empathize and sympathize with the speaker. He is a reputable person. Nobody wants such disaster. Nobody wants any disaster, be it whatever the magnitude. Nobody wants it. So we sympathize and empathize with him, Voice of Liberia, with you, Mr. Speaker. But as much as we empathize and sympathize with the speaker and every other person who have experienced this fire disaster, there are points or things we can pick up from the speaker situation. Nobody prays for disaster, but disaster brings news too. Disaster turns people into being serious too. Yeah, Zedra, you're listening to him carefully. The first thing, he is now ready to make sure that something is done. And that will start from the budget. It will move all the way. He firstly talked about, which I don't know whether it is right or whether that's going to usurp the government function, but it just tells you that these morning people, they are only concerned about something when they face disaster. Let's go back for a few minutes. We were here doing COVID-19. COVID-19, it started with those they refer to as ordinary people. Though I don't like to refer to anybody, nobody is ordinary, but the politicians will refer to those people beyond or below the ladder as ordinary. So those who they consider ordinary, those people started contracting COVID-19. And the sympathy was very low.
It wasn't much.
People have no time, no publicity attached to it. Yeah, oh, the president, the president. And the big people, as we will call them in Liberia, they were moving around. And guess what? God said, but no. Let me make you people to know that just as these people can feel, you can feel too. So it started to go to the top brass. The first person he caught was the Minister of Information, then Len Eugene Nangbe, Dra. When it came out that the Minister of Information, Len Eugene Nangbe, contracted COVID-19, my man, social media, the whole country was flooded with prayer and sympathy. I said to myself, but people contracting COVID-19, even people dying. So why there wasn't this avalanche of sympathy and prayer? But now because it's Eugene, Nangbe, everybody.
To express empathy.
Yeah, our prayers are with you. We pray that you recover straight. And people start moving with things and all kinds of stuff. And you realize the majority of the people who were expressing sympathy were people who they are of the same class, have relationship.
People who will seek help.
Support. Thank you. You got that very well.
People who will seek help.
So by their reasoning, those people who contracted it from the onset and they died along the way, they weren't important because they were now of class.
Yeah, because, yeah.
The same thing we're seeing here. Look at it. Why it is true. I mean, everybody goes through disaster some way, somehow. But the speaker being over there from time to time in fire service has been very dismal. Look at fire service allotment in the budget. Look at what they apportion, what the executive apportion for fire service. Very, very minimal. All of the time, fire service have been below the belt when it came to budgetary allocation. And they have been hearing.
They have always raised the line that the budget is low for fire service.
No, Drive. They have never raised.
No, I'm not talking about the legislature. I'm talking about fire service themselves.
Yeah.
They have always raised their line, but there has been nothing being done on their behalf. Yeah, because they are not being affected.
They will ignore that. All those years, from Salif time, fire service being in a dismal condition. Responses have been very dismal. People died. The houses were burned, and everybody will shift the blame on fire service. From that time till now.
And fire service not getting the necessary support
because the speaker house now is down. What did the speaker say? He said he's bringing in forensic investigator to determine. So it's not about the government again. He's taking it a private Sunday. 2, listen what he said, that the response, it took almost an hour for fire service and for fire service together. Moreover, if it had not happened, what the man see the say got to improve on the response now. Listen.
Last night.
No, that's not the era.
And then she and Dama talked extensively. My colleagues from the National Legislature, we have grateful for that. In the past few months, many Liberians have experienced devastating fire. Some have lost their lives. Unfortunately, nothing happened to any one of my family members, and I'm grateful for that. But this is just to say these incidents are not confined to a certain group or a certain class of people. Until we fix our broken system, until we do.
Did you hear him? It's not confined. You see, the politician will only know that the atmosphere is for everybody when they start to feel the pinch of suffering, tribulation, and disaster. Until then, they will never, ever attempt to look down the line. Listen, listen what the man say.
But this is just to say these incidents are not confined to a certain group or a certain class of people. Until we fix our broken system, until we do those things necessary to help our people, we cannot save ourselves.
So when did he get to know this?
Because I hate him too.
So if that unfortunate situation had not happened, this statement would never have come out.
He would have continued ignoring the Liberian Fire Service for the increment of their budget.
That's how politicians are in this country.
And for the allotment of all of equipment, they will have to use adequately to respond to people who don't have access, people who don't have the hands to respond faster to their own disaster.
All of the signs that God helped us to show that you need to try to do something, they ignore all of those signs. That now he know as speaker that until they can do these things, they themselves not safe. Do I listen to the man? The man say they ain't safe, so they know. So you know what the man say? You can deduce that those behind or below the line, or those they call ordinary people, they don't have time for the men. For those people, listen what the man saying.
Fine to a certain group or a certain class of people. Until we fix our broken system, until we do those things necessary to help our people, we cannot save ourselves or a certain class of people. Until we fix our broken system, until we do those things necessary to help our people, we cannot save ourselves or a certain class of people. Until we fix our broken system, until we do those things necessary to help our people, we cannot save ourselves.
We have to stop being sycophantic. We have to stop pretending. We have to stop this elitism in our country. That is why Liberia is not developed. That is why we have nothing in terms of system in place. Once it is okay for the politician, well, life is good. The rest of the people, they can go to hell. You see, that now he knows that if those people, if a mechanism is in place and it spreads out, they too, as big people, they'll be saved.
They'll be saved.
They have not attempted to do anything along the way.
So in essence, this appear to be life is difficult for the common people or the ordinary people who are not in government, who are not also in government. it appears very difficult for them, and their interests have not been pushed by this very legislature. People will elect and depend on them to do the needful for the country, for the better livelihood. They are the ones who are there pushing their own interests. Until an issue hit, globally, or a hit from all level of life, then that's the time they will take some to be very seriously. Like Sam said, when the coronavirus came, it was killing ordinary people. Let's consider it to be ordinary people because you don't have the capacity up to their level. So they have considered themselves to be the elite. In how much the elite has not been affected, that means that issue is not gravitational enough to affect everyone, meaning they will not respond to it. But the issue of the fire, we have raised alarm here, on the outbreak of fire, burning down homes of people who can afford. People will search, other homes for refuge. People will look for food as well. Government institutions will never come to the aid of those people. Government would not speak to, how to put down the condition on a peaceful atmosphere. But instead, you will just hear somebody say, oh, we in sympathy with them. That's all. To actually go down and help people who are affected directly, they will not do it.
So at least now, this it is good. Every disaster has its positive side. Every disaster has the transformational side. Every disaster has the positive impact. On the overall, it's not good. Nobody wants it. But you can pick up a couple of bits and pieces from it. And it's good that the speaker will allude to some of those things. So now they will focus on fire service the more. The national disaster, I don't know how to call it, National Disaster Agency, you see, an abandoned institution. They're just there. Look where they allocate more money. Look where the health sector, over the time, the health sector, other key areas of governance, they will not allocate the appropriate amount, but they will take bunch allocation and give it to a minimum place. Sometimes people get to realize that these things are not for nothing. Because institution that is partly really not doing anything in terms of
don't have much impact on the masses.
You put more money there.
They invest more money.
Where
like
money should go.
Like the Ministry of State, right? They will put more money in the Ministry of State than the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fire Service. But you need, they will need, an appropriate, they will need adequate work response from the ministry. How possible could that be?
So we don't favor that. Nobody wants that to happen. Let's be very honest. At least now, they will have a rethink at the legislature. They will now start to do the appropriate budgetary allocations that will start to set the country right. We don't have any early warning system, but God can help us to show us sign yet. We ignore it because we're riding BB Jeeps. We're comfortable in our car. We have $2,000-3,000 United States dollars in our pocket. We can go to any restaurant. We can do anything everywhere. So the people down the line, oh yeah, let them go. Even if the houses go on burning, no problem. But at least it will serve as, it will serve as a turning point now. It will serve as a turning point. We empathize with the speaker. Yeah, it's not. Thank God, nothing happy. Like he rightly said, he said that material things. Yeah, all of them, they are all vanity. People build mansions all over the place. They put everything inside. God said, leave it. Kind of, you lay down here. Yeah, there was more way it burn. At least it burn. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we'll talk more on the fire service when fire expert get in, give a man. You don't want to miss that conversation. But they're going to do something in that legislature now. Concerning the death threats he received, well, that's what he said, but the country is deep. Too many things are happening. Do I say it has spiritual implication? Well, you tend to believe that because there isn't a cause yet of any one of those fires. There isn't a cause. At least if we had a cause of one or two, then you can try
You can
to
rely on that and
reach
try to do a
conclusion
research.
some way, somehow.
Yeah, and
But
conclude that the other house got burned. Maybe
something
similar to what led to the burning of the other house.
Something
But up to current, fire service has not discovered or come up with any root cause.
something is happening somewhere. I do not know whether truly it has spiritual implication, but what I do know is everybody and everything on earth is associated with spirituality. Once you were created by God, everything about you is associated with spirituality. Events are associated with spirituality. But it is said, in 2 Timothy 3:1, it says, perilous times will happen. And in perilous times, you have famine, you have drought, you have people not taking pay, they're crying here and there, you have houses burning. But the government will have to do something about it. Listen. We do not like to go to the past. People can think that when we're talking and say, oh, you did this to the former government or the former president. But it will always be that way because there is no way you can live in the present without going into the past. You use the past to correct the future. That is why when you are in opposition, you criticize because you identify the errors. So when you get in, then you right the wrong that you condemn. One of the things, whether people like it or not, President Weah, one of the things he was criticized for being very mute on issues like this, disaster in the country. And we see the same thing. President Boaga has been mute. You got fire, you got people dying from fires, houses burning all over the place. When did you hear the president raise concern? Because the speaker, speaker.
But I don't want to consider it to be
but he never.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
Because the thing here is, you got majority of the people who are affected by the fire, and you have not spoken
to it.
They are
Liberians.
He had not spoken to it, but he took a personal call to the speaker based on their relationship as a hierarchy of the country.
Political sympathy.
Political sympathy. So what happens to the other people whose houses have gotten burned long ago, who can't even afford to rebuild it?
He can't reach to them, but at least a statement that will go far and wide because he has all of the mediums available to him by which the people will hear. He will opt not to. Just make a statement. So just come up and say what the government is doing.
It even implies that the statement made by the speaker, right, that the issue of disaster has not been taken too much seriously by the elite because of certain class. Now they're considering that disasters not only for a particular class of living. The president, just to make you understand just to make you digest what the speaker said, right? The common people will consider to be common people. Houses been burning down in Liberia. Not a day the president ever made a statement. But then the speaker, considering that he and the president
needed to have spoken from the very first day.
They are of the same class. Now he's identifying with the speaker. He took his personal phone and called the speaker, expressing his empathy. So what happens to the other people too? Are they not also Liberian? Or is it because Funatikova rich? Or is it easy government?
That speaker, no?
Yeah, is it that he's in government? Or is it that he's rich?
And the
so what happened to the other people too?
Those houses that got burned first, churches and other places, the president saw those footages. The president heard about it.
They are aware.
But just to release a sentence or a paragraph will have served. At least they will say, yes, the president is empathizing. The president is scared. The president is showing concern. But nothing. You can't become fanatic. This is, you see, but it's not a strange thing. That's how the war has always been. Once you are a top brass empathize with you. Once you are down the line, you are downtrodden, you are peasant.
When you are down the line, you have to affiliate with the people down the line.
They will identify with you.
No, but on the overseeing, we're saying they are government officials. They are there to protect life and they are there to improve life as well. So every citizen in the country should be protected by this government. So be whatever means you think you can reach to the person to express empathy or sympathy, is good to express and reach out to them. It's not about the status, the color. No, we are all Liberian. The power in which you got today that are getting you to be worshipped by other people who other people now worshiping you, don't feel that it was been given you by yourself. The very people you're looking down on are the people who elected you. They are the people who gave you the power. So it is prudent enough to give them exactly what they deserve.
Okay.
They don't need your money, but they only need that concern.
Let's move on. Let's acknowledge few individuals, then we'll move on to what happened at Bannersville Junction.
Yeah.
The entire Jipren Freeway, Somalia Drive, whichever way you call it, is dangerous. Dangerous. And not only that, but everywhere in this country. Everywhere in this country, you've got to be careful. You've got to evoke as much as you will call on God, you will pray before you leave your house, you also have to be cautious. Some of the people who are under the ground, they pray for 30 minutes, they pray for 1 hour, they pray for 3 hours before leaving the house. They felt God was with them, but their own inability to be cautious enough die. You can pray to God, you get out, and you die. It is the caution that God uses to save. Be careful with your life. Take care of yourself. Don't rush into anything. Nowhere in this country is safe. Don't trust anybody with your security. Be mindful. Hasten not to get out of your house. Hasten not to rush into any other place because you want to do X, Y, Z. Be careful. Be careful. So let me acknowledge, then we come to the lady that was murdered at Bannersville Junction. The police will confirm, and they are investigating. And Alfred Wiggy, you've come on from Lower Bond County. My dear John brother Stephen Coker, you've come on from Washington, D.C. You say thanks so much for the show. Thank you for coming on to Stephen Coker. Yata Dorsey, you've come on. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. Who else? Say I'm down. You say you guys are right. And Doris Jabo say mispriorities. I will say yes. The place what they consider a priority where it ought not to be. Fire service has always been overlooked. It has always been down. And Lavosha Wynn, you've come on from Arizona, the United States of America. Yata Dorsey come again. She said the Liberian people will see for themselves. Okay. Somebody commented on the, okay, this one, she said that Alfred Wiggin, okay. The war, no, when you get the Chichipole woman, you've come on from Pipeline, Johnsonville. All right. So let's get to the police now. It was reported that this lady, Amanda Nimble, was murdered at Bannersville Junction. She was murdered, and the police will confirm, I think two murders, and I think one died in police cell, but we'll get that. So that the police will confirm, saying they are currently conducting a thorough investigation into the tragic murder of Liberian Amanda Nimble. The police said Amanda lost her life in a horrifying incident when she was brutally attacked by a group of criminals in the early morning hours of Sunday near the Bannersville Junction, Somalia Drive. According to the police, upon her arrival, or before she was taken at John F. K. Medical Center, she was pronounced dead. So the police goes on to say, the LMP goes on to say that several individuals who may have vital information are now in police custody and are actively being questioned. The police will go further to say the objective is to ensure that the perpetrators of such heinous crime are not allowed to evade justice and face the full consequences of their actions under the law. And they will request the public to remain calm as every possible measure, the police said, is being taken to ensure that justice is served. So the police will confirm what happened at near Bannersville Junction. That whole area, though the police wasn't specific, but that whole area is Bannersville Junction, Somalia Drive, Keseli Boulevard is at Bannersville Junction, and then Chicken Soup Factory going, Iron Factory, Battery Factory, from Total Drive, from Total Gas Station, from Total Freeport, going all the way red light. Very dangerous, very dangerous. You have gangs of all kinds over there with different lethal weapons. Don't attempt to move around there between 9:30, 10, 11. Too many people have fallen victim. Too many people have died. That whole place and other areas in the country, not safe at all. So the police will confirm that Amanda Nimbo was murdered. Voice of Liberia condolences told her parents and guardians. We know what you people are going through right now. It's not easy. It's devastating. It has upset the family. But this is the reality. Just we can only console you people and the friends. But I'm very skeptical that anything going to come of it. Now you will ask why. It's as simple to understand.
And that's reality.
We have had
too
many of these things happening. Today, not a single is out. People murder, people they go for free. Police will only make announcement that they investigating. Anyone having information should supply the police. And that's about, again, you can understand the police too. The police not really sophisticated. That same thing, it boils down to the same thing we're talking here in terms of budgetary allocation. You can blame the police too. How much they have had over the time, government after government. Police will just beg and beg and beg. Look at some of the police, the traffic police officers on the street. You won't even know that traffic police officer wearing one uniform for 6, 7 years. You have to understand. At least to talk about having the sophistication to do, to be on the alert, to avert. You call police. You call the people, say the people are afraid. Mm-hmm. The people are afraid to go there.
Yeah, the thing is, the police are not equipped to chase after crimes in Liberia. We want to say that. The police are not equipped to follow crimes in the country. The thing here is, at Bannersville Junction, where they're talking about, police can be assigned there in a day, and you'll see police passing, and after the hour, everybody going home. And those are instinctual junctions that deserve or that need police attention. Police will have to be at those various junctions up to 10 o'clock in the night. Even 11 o'clock.
They have depots around there. I think they have depots around there, because I saw one at supermarket, at factory. I don't know about the other areas, but I have seen 1 or 2 or 3. But what do they have? You can have them dry. You can have the structure there.
Yeah, but you're not equipped.
They will not do anything.
So you don't even have a motorbike. Police don't even have motorbike to say they will chase after a criminal or they will chase after a perpetrator.
Even if they have bike driver, what are you talking? So the police have bike. Bike can easily be overturned. Then a vehicle. Say if you have like other places, they have each police station. They have about 6 or 7 well armed. They're just there for a response, for swift response. They're there. Once that alarm is raised or they receive that tip off, they're moving. But most of the depots here, what you have there, the men and they just sitting down there hoping somebody will come and say, they get cost me. Then they open the cell. But you call the people for any emergency, the people tell you honestly, we can make it. We're not coming there. Just imagine the only time they will try to move that broad day, even as that broad day, yeah, they should know where they're going. If it is a place that you got sophisticated criminals,
terrible Zoom.
Forget it. They're telling you, no, we're not going there. They will tell you honestly. And the people are right. I mean, you can go as a police officer with uniform. It doesn't make sense. They are not afraid of uniform. Uniform is not armed. You know how many police officers got affected? You know how many police officers were beaten? You know how many police officers died from being attacked before they can rush them to hospital? They finish because of the gangs, the criminals. The people are not sophisticated. I mean, the people are not sophisticated. The people can too, we can understand, even though they're slow in response, but there is a condition. Everything, nothing and nobody operate in a vacuum. There is a reason. If there is a low response, there's a reason. If there is a high response or quick response, there's a reason. If you're not capacitated, fully capacitated, you can move.
Yeah, you can move.
Because you are human too.
And that's true.
You are
true,
human.
Sam. I want to reason with you because what happens is that the guys who were good about involving themselves into the bar habit will be brave enough, can look at their friend man and juke you. So police is also a human being.
Yeah.
Police wouldn't want to raise his life. And when you look, when you're being affected in a crime, investigation, there will be no bonus given you by the Liberia National Police or by the government. You're going to sit by your family without wound, and you will treat yourself.
Yeah, they will give them something. Oh, they can give
them something.
Yeah, flag. They can fold the flag and put it over the casket. But we're talking about. But no insurance, except the police will actually, because these are all public information. You guys, but that's what I have seen, what I have known, what I've heard from people. We've heard from police, army wives, and say, oh, yeah, they just get small prayer with a flare. And they say that in the budget impact, when they pass in that budget, they will find.
Yeah.
We've played it in this country,
they always make a statement.
Yeah, that's the reason why I reached the conclusion, even though it's sentimental, but you just have to say that, yeah, they give them the flag. Then there's this one again, another one. This one, I think they say in police cell. This is the police statement. It says, the Inspector General, please, I beg you, let's say this one, then we'll open the line. I show my expert is on his way. The Inspector General of Police, Gregory Coleman, has ordered an immediate investigation into circumstances leading to the death of a Liberian citizen. Suspect Prince Wenyu, age 30, at Salem Depot in Elfie Sinker. The incident took place on Friday, April 12th at 11 p.m. while the suspect was in police holding cell. That means he died in a cell. The deceased, according to the police, the deceased suspect had been detained at Salem Depot after being charged with theft by deception. It is alleged that he extorted $200 United States from the complainant, promising to repair his vehicle. However, he failed to do so since the 1st of April. The police statement goes on to say, Inspector Coleman, IG Coleman, has ordered a comprehensive investigation, including a request to the Minister of Justice to authorize a coroner inquest to determine the circumstances surrounding this incident. All officers on duty during the incident are being subjected to a professional standard investigation, while the detainees themselves are being considered persons of interest to the investigation. And then the statement concluded, members of the public can rest assured that the investigation will be conducted impartially to ensure that justice is served. A timely report will be made available to the public. The Liberia National Police regrets the unfortunate passing of the deceased and at the same time assures the public of regular updates on the progress of the investigation. This too has come to an end. You will get nothing from the police on this. Look at the man, okay, we agree that's the law. The man sought a recourse to the law. So what happened? What happened in the cell? It's not about the complainant. The statement is saying, is confirming, yes, he died in the cell. And why was he in the cell? Because a complaint was taken there by the person who took the complaint. So there is nothing. The question is not about what the police need to say. The main thing here is, how did this man die in a cell? What happened?
The cause of his death.
This is not a long time thing. When we go through this is where I reach the conclusion immediately, and you will consider it sentimental, but my sentimentalism will always have substance because we are seeing it over the time, that nothing going to come of it. This is not a long thing that you will not know. This thing here, it requires just 2-3 days, or even a day. How did the man die in a cell? It's something that you want to invest, you want to use 3, 4, 5 weeks, 6, 7 weeks. That's how they kill cases in this place. And nothing come of all the, it will just be there when another high political event comes up, everybody turns
focus on the political case.
The feeling that kid die.
Case, yeah. Actually, you're right, Sam.
Just coming dry, then we open the line,
yeah,
and then we try to get our guests.
Yeah, like you said, right? The thing here now, the investigation should focus directly on the cause of the young man's death in the cell. Police, I don't think police will be brave enough to place someone behind bars when the person is unconscious. This is something that they will always advise you. When a person complaint is being taken to the police station, you look at the person, know that the person is well before you put the man in the cell. So apparently, in this country, when they say somebody steal, they will beat the person unmercifully before they can bring the person to the police station. So when they beat the person like that, and the person being brought to the police station, no matter what compensation or bribery the complainant will try to give you as a police officer on duty to put that person in cell. Your duty is to tell the person this person is not well. We are assigning a police officer by this person so the person can go seek treatment. When the person is well, we can file you to court. But the police officer would, some of them will want to take it as an opportunity. They've been to the police station whole day, no case, and the community dwellers finish beating the other row, and the complainant is capacitated enough to give the police officer a small thing and put the person in cell. You also putting yourself in problem, you as a police officer, because when there is anything bad spark up, your name will be involved, and they will discuss you all kinds of ways, and people wouldn't want trust in you in the community as a police officer anymore. We're just saying these things as, a safeguard to your police status in Liberia. When the president is unconscious, do not accept the president to be put behind bars. Recommend to the complainant that this is the situation, provide money, or whoever is responsible providing a finance to take the person to the nearest clinic or drugstore, let the person take treatment. After the treatment, you can come back to the police station and proceed with the case. Anything other than that, you, the police officer who accepting that case, considering the unconsciousness of the perpetrator or the defendant, you also putting you, the policeman, in problem. Because when issues sparkle like how it is right now, the officer who was on duty that very day when this criminal, the alleged criminal, because it has not been, proving that the alleged case against the person who took the money is proven or it is true. So you have also put in your character at stake. People will discuss you the way they want to discuss you. People will talk anyhow they want to talk. Why? Because you as an officer on duty, we all know in Liberia when they say roll, before they can reach with the roll at the police station, there will be a march done to that person. So when the person is being brought to the police station, you have to use your own wisdom. Do not just accept the person because the person is a criminal. We accept. You dare to investigate, but then you should use your wisdom as well. Tell the complainant that this person is unconscious, this person is like this. I see a lot of wound on the person. Let's take the person for treatment. After the treatment, we can send you to court, and the court will have the man prosecuted. But you, officer, you just won't because you feel that there's a little cash associated with the case, and you want to grab the person and put the person in jail because you want to please the complainant, that if the complainant will get you something. It's also good behind the scene, but it's bad on the public scene where when it goes against you as a police officer, your character will be at stake. So the officers who are on ground now, character will be at stake. The question here is, what caused the man's death? Is it hunger? Is it a wound? Was there a foul play? That's the question. And many people now want to go on saying it was a wound or it was a foul play. They will always shift the blame on the police officer who was on duty.
And then there is this one that happened at New Georgia Junction again. This one, well, I've been getting some bits and pieces about it, and put all together, it is purely politically motivated. The bus stop, which Edwin Melvin Dry. We're observing.
The committee was outside yesterday.
Yeah, the two people were commentating along with Kutu Dabisao. I was only in the background observing. That's how it goes professionally. One group, one person talking, or two, three persons. Another group had to be looking around. Yeah,
taking statistics.
So we saw a number of things. And Liberia is a member of FIFA and CAF. You can't tell me that the rules are not applied. That was a joke. I hope that the rest of the games wouldn't be that way on ATS, because we'll not be going to the other areas except in extreme case. But what we saw yesterday was very dismal disorganization. You have Andy Kwemi just portraying himself. Why Liberians let us show up the man standing on the field because he deputy minister for this at the Ministry of Human Resources, the man insulting, the man talking to people all kinds of way on the field. Hey, Liberia, what kind of country here? But the women will ever be great, man. The women will ever be great. They put no organization, man. 0770 907 907. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Hello?
Good afternoon, Semanju.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
And good afternoon to your co-host, and Patricia Mokra. I do join you from Central Monrovia.
Let's hear you.
Thank you guys for your elaborations you people have disclosed to the public this afternoon. I'm a tricycle rider. I understand how bonus the also matter there is dangerous. Semanju. It happened to hello?
You live, let's go.
Hello?
You live, let's hear you.
Yeah, it happens to be around Pacific Junction at the front of the police. Guys came, they were on the motorbike with Kopache, right in front of the police. They asked me where I can put my money. I should show them the police with their colors in their hair. I just God who bless me. Whatsoever I in my hair, I give it to them. They leave me. So I'm asking if we have police officers in the country or what? Because the whole appealing to Gregor.
My man, was good. You getting all your mouth. It was better. Thank God you getting all your mouth.
Yeah, the refusal of Amanda 9 led to her death.
So I don't know if we have sophisticated police officer.
Thank you.
When you go over there, all the officers you see, they just logo. I can really be wondering if they are real police officers.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello? Hello? 0770-907-907. Hello?
Hello?
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, my name is Chukon Zino. I do join you from the 12th District 5 Grand Basotani.
That's how you Chukon.
Yeah, so thank you, Tim Andrews, this afternoon for the show, and it's interesting. You know, what the people have started is bad, and let me tell you that nothing will come from out of that particular thing they're talking about, most especially the one that happened at the police station. If you went there and saw the man, whether the man, somebody beat him before carrying to the cell, or whether he was beaten in the cell, or what, and what's the cause of the death? That's just a simple thing to establish right there. It's not about looking for a long time to look at the issue, and I don't know. But anyway, when the police themselves started eating Kinjo, then why more about that? So we show that nothing go.
Thank you. Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, my name is Ishmael Sion, commonly known as Wycliffe. The men are putting Joseph Wada feet on fire.
Let's hear you.
Yes, when it comes to the issue of the police, I have serious problem with the police at Banafé Junction. Banafé Junction is one of the junctions on the Japan Freeway that causing serious problem on the Japan Freeway. The police, they are there and they have their checkpoint at the night time, and you see criminals embarrassing people, terrorizing people, chopping people. Just few days ago, I think 3 days ago, there was a lady that was killed right at Banafé Junction just for her handbag because she refused not to give her handbag to the criminal, and she was killed in the process. She was choked multiple times. So, my question is, looking at police and checkpoint right at Banafé Junction, and the police standing to that at Seneca spot all the time, in their own watchful eyes. People kill people down there, people take things from people, you don't.
Okay, hello?
Yes, hello.
Your name and where you call from?
The name is Patrick Riggs. I call from Raymond Field Community in the LP.
Yeah, Patrick, let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to speak on the issue of Ceylon Depot. Yeah, the guy there, he was taken to the prison by somebody who he's supposed to work for, and because according to him, he was not well and had some family problems. That's why he wasn't able to do the work. So they took him to the police station. And the police, when this guy, who the complainer, could not get anything from the man when he came back home until they freed the man. So he went back to the police station and told them, say, well, let the man be free. The only way I can get something from him for him to come and do the work for me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to clear the police deck. The guy in the prison say he's not well. He wants to treatment. Police man say that's scam. That had to end up keeping that guy there because the other man could not come to clear the desk, and the guy in prison too, he get beat more. He wants
to clear the desk. What do you mean? What do you mean when you say clear the desk?
Oh, no money to clear the debt. You know, you don't get carry case to the police station freely, so you have to pay $10 or something.
Oh, you pay money. That what it means. That what it means in police law. You pay money to clear the debts, or clearing the debts mean you must give the police money.
Yes, you must give the police money to
So
clear the debt so that
were you part of the case? Were you part of the case?
You carry the case, you say, okay, we can solve this case at the house. We will come to one understanding. The police will not allow that case to go to the house of still.
Thank you.
To clear the debt.
Thank you. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Chicago. We have to be specific. I'm Prince Jackson.
Yeah, Prince, let's hear you.
Yeah, the issue about the police, I will simply say that I don't think we got police in Liberia because those very police, even at Jacostown, we have. If they carry you to the depot, and you don't have money, just a female, they will demand the tenancy put a person inside. They will just give them a little care. You will stay there if you don't get anybody behind you. It causes them to die in a cell, and they will be pity on you, just like you have killed or done something bad that you need to be killed. They will kill you there. That's what they can do. Jacostown rehab. That's what they do.
Okay, thank you. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Your name and where you call from?
Thank you. Yes, Moses. I'm calling from Coffee.
Yeah, Moses, let's hear you.
Thank you for the balancing of the thought the afternoon. You see, I think I'm making it clear that police is no facing serious no problem in terms of logistics and no training and all things. But I would like for this, I want to use the forum to inform police director that the uniform that they brought the free time to get to receive the police people, more especially the public safety. They went, I don't know what they did with the uniform. They got almost 200 some public safety officer. And people, the officer that no receive it, they will not reach 100. And the police officer all passing after 6 years. If we don't receive, they don't receive uniform. I'm no part of A. We not receive uniform after no 6 years. Then they just brought out the uniform recently. They give one suit. Then they one suit again. They can't give it. How will people get in the street? So that it was not so good. You will balance the topic.
Thank you. Thank you. 0770907 Voice of Liberia. Hello? Hello? Yeah, your name and where you call from?
Yeah, my name is Momo Bikan. I'm calling from New Georgia.
Yeah, let's hear you, Momo.
Yeah, the issue about, the fire outbreak in the country is something, that has been happening. It happened to our Honorable Senator Sahari Joseph. It happened to him, we take it to be led. It has happened to the speaker. It has been happening to the common people who are taking it to be led in the country. And now it has reached to the state that is happening to top government officials. And now, I think the government officials themselves will carry the budget of the fire service up. Yeah, that's one of the things there because people have been victims of fire in this country, and the president has been talking.
Thank you.
The guest just informed me that he will be 30 minutes late. He's at the speaker's house.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello?
Your name, where you call from?
Yeah, I'm calling from New Georgia Junction.
Yes, Samuel, let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to talk on the fire issue basis. When it comes to the fire issue, it's all scripture. Our president said, the devil is your ring.
Forget about dancing with devil thing here, man. Hello?
We probably about that thing nonsense, man.
Hello?
Try to say something of substance.
Your name, where you call from?
Yeah, I'm calling from the city. I'm Chametier. You said what here?
Let's hear you, Chametier.
Thank you.
Go for Lord. Chairman, only are you for Lord, my man. What happened, ba? Hey, Dado. How not easy, not Chairman? Wait, Chairman. How not easy? Not easy. Why not easy?
I mean, I go with a bill for the fact that
in my community.
No, Chairman, well, you can't be versed with Liberia. You got to be versed with specific person or people. Be specific.
They want the government.
You versed with the government? You versed with your President Comrade Joseph Imabwaka?
Exactly. Yes, sir. Exactly so.
So why you versed with Comrade President Joseph Imabwaka?
Because they see erosion. It's actually in Nigri town.
It coming close to your house, eh?
My brother is 2 houses away, and nobody go to my head. Nobody went there. No government worker went there. Nobody.
But you ordinary now, Chairman. Chairman, you ordinary. Your fellow chairman will handle you.
My brother, myself, I try my possible best to help the situation, but say it's not easy.
Okay, Chairman, say what you cover.
Thank you. You see, if you're looking at Panama Junction, yourself, do your survey. The whole entire property in this country is from Bombay Junction. The straight lane are going red light. You won't be able to go red light. So if you Bombay Junction, you go inside, the travel market. Maybe you want to go 220. You will go to Junction. And you will choose to escape without her. So that area is so, it's not easy. If you want to go inside, a bad will catch you. So you reach the Bombay Junction, you can escape. So I want the government to see our best. You can build 2 or 3 info stations on our road. From there, it doesn't vary. From doesn't vary, turn around all the way to Mount Bakri.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman.
The notorious criminal, they are to Bombay Junction. You just go to Route 7 to 8 alone. You go there, they drive themselves. You can head to your there you go back, they will make you, some of the enemy, kill you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you come from?
I'm Alfred Spencer. I'll call you from Baga.
Yeah, Marco, let's hear you.
Thank you very much. You see, I'm just asking the security, the joint security of this country here, especially for that murder that went on at the Bannersville intersection. You see, it happened before. People used to die when they die in accidents, and they would say, oh, that government. People die in accidents, they say that government. And now we see what's going on in this country here, especially when it comes to fire disaster. Fire burning people's houses and whatsoever, and they're going in the house of the government official. So we're just asking the government to do due diligence, because before anything happened, they would say that the government. At that time, former president, we had time. They would say that government. So let the put the security together and make sure that all these things should be investigated properly. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Your name and where you come from?
This is Samuel Yema. We are calling from district number 9.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Andrew, if you look at the actions of our police, if you see some of their performances, you would think that these people never went through the UN training. The incident that happened to Salem, I live right near Salem. The problem here is whenever you go to that police station, they are so arbitrary, so aggressive, most specifically when they receive a take off honor cover. That death of that young man, if it comes investigated, should have been from police brutality, because I witnessed a lot of them on the airfield. So that death of that man in that cell, it needs immediate investigation to establish the cause of the death of the Liberian that died. People can't be dying when we are not at war. And you must understand, the country, they didn't need to create a police state. We graduated from war. Why it is our people die equal blood like this? It's worth investigation. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello?
Hello.
Your name and where you come from?
Speaking from Rockville.
Julian, will you go away from your radio?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. That's hear you, Junior.
Okay. Myself, I want to know that you speak to me from Johnsonville coming to Raiders. We're between Raiders and Portland Ender. You see, the police are here. We don't have police here like wrong. Reason being, myself, our
coming to Relay, right between there, the guys attacked me there. They took my cell phone, my button phone, and my history. So I don't care what you on the scene, police on the scene, they may even touch on you. You get no help. Because even the other guys, even having certain deaths, want to juke me on my neck. So they raise my hand up that day, and they take my phone away. So I'm kind of asking the government to even enforce the police. Because no police in Liberia.
But you say no police in Liberia, then you say the Mokara increase. So the colors can be too interesting. Thank you ever so much. I think he's the last caller.
No police, but
they increase the police.
Okay. So let's move to the SKD ATS.
Yeah.
You know, yesterday, I've just been informed that the guest will be 30 minutes late. He has just
That means he'll come at
text me, that he is at the house of the speaker, but I don't know. I'm not too scientific with that 30 minutes because from the speaker lives rehab and it's not holiday that you have a
freeway
flow of traffic. Yeah, you have a number of stops and you can pass over everybody. But broadcast is time. Sometimes when you agree, you set the time and the public waiting. The public just don't want to hear the person will be 30 minutes late or sorry for coming late. All of those things. Only in Liberia we do those things. Only in Liberia. If you went to Ghana, 5 minutes. 5 minutes you got at the station. 5 minutes.
To the time.
That show won't go on. I mean, you wouldn't appear because you're already into the time. Yeah, we joke in this country, and not necessarily the institution, but the people themselves. Some people can't drive. You hear them, hey, sorry, that the traffic. Oh, but you agree for 9 o'clock in the morning. So wouldn't you start moving before 9? Do you not have an understanding of your culture that the traffic
will jam you.
Yeah, well, and you will not be on time if you're leaving 9 o'clock. So you want to leave 30 minutes ahead of time so that you will be. But anyway, so that will be at 5 o'clock. So yesterday, the opening of the county meet, and 2 games were played, great games. The organization wasn't an organization. No, draw our focus on that part, but that's my position. I only want to focus on the game and some of the things that we saw. Because Andy Kwame, who is the deputy minister for sports, what the man said, he said, it was not in Boaka time, or he said it in Weir time. He said the county meet, the political thing. So, in essence, he was saying people should not be too restrictive of this thing. The rules from FIFA, UEFA will not be applied. It's not something that people should think that it is a standard league, but rather just you all come together, the various counties, to make fun fair and all of those. Beyond that, nothing else. So it was not a surprise that we continue to see that, but it can be like that all of the time. It can be like that. We have to change. The counter meet, in my opinion, the counter meet is just insignificant. It's not really, because we're not really for football in the country, football development, nothing. That counter meet in other places or other countries, you know what it's used for? It's going to be used as a measuring rod and a recruitment game or league for that national team. Be so vibrant. Nothing in place. Yesterday we were just told that the chairman, not the chairman, but the national team coach, we heard it from the PA system.
Yeah,
that he had gone on the field to watch. But it was not bad. But the organization, no. Why it is true that it's not FIFA, something, but you're using the rule. That game now, we're in a modern war. You can be below the belt.
Yeah, but Sam, why would they even refuse to apply all of the rules? The very player you're using in this league, the third division league.
On the field of play, they did.
No, I come in. Yeah, on the field of play, they did. But then what happens is you always expect a guest team to come in Liberia. So those rules that are supposed to be applied that your people will start to get addicted to, when they are not getting addicted to, and you have a guest team to come in your country to play, the people will still want to break that same rule because it was not being observed, and people will not accept even that it is a rule in football. That's my point now. So people who were, like you said, there are some lapses you experienced on the field yesterday. People standing on the touch, people giving instruction, not more than not only the coach talking to players, you have more people talking to players. So if the rules,
so let's take it one by one draw. The county meet is purely financial competition. The county meet.
Yeah.
So yesterday, look at the two teams. What kind of water the people were drinking?
The people are drinking
plastic
bag water, and I don't want to believe it was even being provided by the Youth and Sport Ministry. I don't want to believe so.
So the 30,000 we can be hearing to say the reality, they can say 5,000. You hear the other county person say, I gave him 5,000 to the team. They want to from the same country will say, I gave him 10,000. So where all that money can go? Because yesterday were too shameful to see the two teams. They put drinking plastic bag. I thought when the teams come out, you see the people water. Responsible. You're coming with the with the meaning how they call it that, and they can put the cooler in
cooler.
Yeah, the cooler.
Yeah.
You see that sometimes you see 2 or 3. I thought we're going to see at least 1. But some kind of major walking around giving the poor plastic bear water. Hey, man. So where are the money going to go now, dry?
Okay, so the organizing team is responsible.
Dry, answer that question.
They can eat the money now. That's what I'm So the organizing team can eat the money. They will eat the money. And then what will happen, Sam, the organizing team will go about seeking sponsorship, and you will see other people donating to the team. Some people will say, I'm responsible for water. The other team will say, I want to give like maybe 50 sacks of bottled water. The other person will say, I want to give like 200 sacks of plastic bag water. Then this is what the organizers, many of them, will do. They will go to you who have pledged, and they will ask you if you have agreed to give them maybe 50 sacks of bottled water. They do the calculation of the 50 sacks of water. If it's supposed to reach to maybe 20,000, it tells you, give us 15,000 and 5,000
so
liters.
It was just bad of yesterday.
That's always that's not just of yesterday. Yeah. Get it today. You will still experience this symptom on Wednesday.
Then it's happening, except for other counties that you probably will not want to tread that path based on their reputation.
It's all over, Sam.
Another thing, hey man. So this country here will not try to improve in any area. Hey man. So that Douglas College people and the other medical institutions, people just go there to just get knowledge and go in other places. Because those guys that we saw over there, that thing a joke, that fun. Player on the ground. Player on the ground, those people they call medics. Player on the ground dry. The man running with 2 bags of cold or plastic bag water in his hand.
So, but Sam, what happened? The people who are running with the plastic bag water are not directly from what you call the Youth and Sport technical or medical team. Those people are being hired by the very country that come to play.
It should not be here, even as that. They should be satisfied. The FA, the Youth and Sports should have a say in that. My man, that human life order, you are aware of what we see on the European scene and in other African leagues around. How players go in the air together and then down, one person is down. Look at this, while I was going on the field, you guys were giving a graphic picture of the lady. I think she fell off.
Salamatu Ja. Salamatu Jar from Bapolu County.
And I kept...
She dropped on the field yesterday.
And you know what came to my mind when you kept on giving that graphic picture? That I hope that it will not be the end, because the way it was being described.
Exactly, that was what happened.
Yeah, you kept on saying the need to rush her to the hospital. So if you're listening to the radio and the commentator is saying that she needs to be rushed to the hospital or he needs to be rushed, it tells anybody who's listening the seriousness of it.
Of the issue, yes. And exactly, it was serious yesterday. It was just a plastic bag water. And, you know, like you said, they pour the bladder ice on her chest, you know. So it appear very funny.
My man, try you laughing at syrup, DL.
No, but what happened yesterday? So when they rushed her to the low booth where the players will come and sit when they are resting and doing changes, they went and put her there. And she lied down flat. They put the ice on her, After sitting down, her friend and feeling her skin, knocking her, back wake up.
Yeah.
Back wake up, yeah.
And even though we watch games, we see tackles, we see some strong tackles, hard tackles on the European scene and some African scenes. But my man, watching those two games yesterday, I was afraid. I kept, because the guys tackled. We're not professional tackles, oh. Dry get a ball, I will just jump on dry. Dry being, I just jump dry and break dry full. My man, I think the men were playing dry, you saw you people were commentating.
Yeah.
You're too bad, I was scared, my man.
Yeah, but that's the only happens in football game, right?
Chief,
we
have seen tackles.
Yeah, we
have
seen
won yesterday.
We have seen tackles, but what happened?
The amateur football men were playing yesterday.
It appears amateur because you were on the field and you were seeing vividly what were occurring.
But we see,
but in Europe, you
were only watching from the screen.
You're watching from screen, so the camera will make it very beautiful.
So what a difference? No, the camera can't modify injury. No, the camera can modify injury.
The camera will not modify the injury, but.
If you were say the commentators as per the graphic description, I will agree with you, because what we consider a broken leg here, for them that's spring leg.
Okay.
Yeah. If a player foot is broken, what we can say broken leg.
Yeah.
For them, they say spring.
Spring, yeah.
So if you say that, but tackle, we have seen players. But that one yesterday, I was afraid, man. Then the next thing, he know the better on the other side, but you saw everything.
I was there, yeah, I saw everything.
The other thing, they got, so the referee now, so the referee can be sensitive to the atmosphere.
The referee can be sensitive to the atmosphere. This is why they got the central referee and they got the assistant referee.
What we saw in the two games, man, the man standing, the man who goes to put the ball up, I don't know how they called it, for the substitution.
Okay.
He yelling, hey, draw.
So like yesterday, Patrick and I, just what you're saying, Patrick and I share similar experience on that. When the ball, what they use to change the player's number and to cut on the substitution. So I went to Patrick, I asked him, Patrick, I said, well, what kind of ball down at the minute using ORS? So he said, no, that the same ball they got using in Europe. I said, no, but it can be reflective in Europe, it can be shining than what it is right now. Patrick said that the same, up to now, I'm not still convinced that the same ball the ball can use in Europe. But however it is, that's it. But then, let me say this. On yesterday, the Lone Star head coach, Mario Marinica, refused to talk to the journalist of Voice of Liberia. And our conversation with him yesterday, or our request to have a conversation with him yesterday, was just to ask him about what he make up the National County Sports Meet and the players, on what backgrounds he think various games are being played in Liberia on the same day, and what mechanism is he putting in place to spark players across the entire country, because remember, There are some players who will play in this league. They play, some of them playing in Fishtown, some of them playing in Sannikali, some of them playing in Kakata, and some were playing also in Moserado here yesterday. There will be some players who exceptionally play, but their team will not be qualified and they will drop and they will be left out the zone and they will not come to Monrovia that Coach Mario will be able to see them. So we needed to ask him yesterday as to what mechanism is he put into place to spark players across the entire country so that they can help build the national team. He refused to talk to the microphone yesterday, but then later on started requesting to talk to our female journalist, Samira Wonla, which Sekou Sharif said, we can't give you the audience to talk to Samira in Amosh. You have refused to talk to us on the microphone. So later on, that was how he turned his back and he left. And this is not a good conduct of our coach. What exhibited yesterday was completely wrong, except to talk to the journalist. Ian Mosh is sport related. Give your analysis, your experience on the game. Liberians want to listen to you as a head coach of Liberia. It is your responsibility to respond on sporting activities in the country. We did not see you in the street and wanting to talk to you. We saw you on the football field and we were covering the game yesterday. That what prompted us to have asked you to give us a chance to talk to you so the Liberian people could listen to you on what ideas you scrap faxing to ensure that our Lone Star we had before, that when we used to go to play, we will have everyone listening to the radio because you had the Joe Nangbe, you had the George Weah, you had the Didier, not Didier, but you had what they got from Grand Basso. So we had a lot of players.
And another thing that I observe is most of the old players, from Lone Star were on the field. Most of those guys,
Pee-wee Bestman,
Washington Blade, Jonas Sawie. It looks like all of them are associated with the LFA, and I think they are assisting. But just so you know, our guest is in. But here is it. We have to stop dates. Yesterday, it was very awful. It was very awful. We've said this before, and in my opinion, that is the reason Liberia national team has never made progress. We hope that it makes progress, but if it continues this way, this political worship will have to stop. You cannot be barring certain people against the rule that it is wrong, but you allowing the politician, you're flouting the rules, or you're relaxing the rule for the politician. They did not want anybody to enter the pitch yesterday, which was right. After the first half ends, they move out, or when the game ends, they move out. But yeah, it's it. They were preventing people, but Senator Snow and the other people will come down from the stand, and then they went on the pitch to talk to the accountant.
Yeah, Snow,
but then
you had Yeke.
No, Yeke had not come then. Yeke came, I think Yeke was the last walking around the field on the perimeter.
I interviewed Snow yesterday.
So, and then the rest of the people want to enter. They said no. But then Snow, nobody barring Snow. They open the gate. You want anybody to enter the pitch, and by right, it is wrong. What we see, whether we like it or not, this is an emerging country. We cannot be saying, oh, we come to do this, and then one was not right, and we're doing the right thing now, then we are in the reverse. What did look at Andy Queming behavior yesterday, the Deputy Minister for Youth and Sports, the man sitting right there with other officials. Then the man allowing people, certain people to get there and preventing certain people. And then when they try to inquire or try to raise one or two concerns, the man insult on the phone, the man blasting, the man using awful words. I mean, I just sitting and giving courtesy at the beginning, I can say, listening. Say, Yeah, and these officials, they know, but they just like to show up. They are public figure. They know that people know them. But they want to show up. You're sitting there, and you know that people around, they know you as Andy Kwame, Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports. And you're using awful expression. You're preventing other people. All kinds of stuff. But they had to improve, man. They had to improve. That thing was purely discouraging yesterday. I just said to myself, we'll continue to watch our European games because not necessarily the guys are extra dry, but it is the organization that takes us into the video clubs, the entertainment centers, and wherever. It is the organization that takes us there. And because you see, in the absence of that, no, not necessarily are the guys so extra, but the people you see, organization, man, you go see yesterday, all the money the people collecting. Well, what you see on the people buy? NASCAR,
NASCAR, Orange. They collect all the money. Still, you have people drinking plastic bear water, man. Yeah, you cannot think be disgusting.
Running with plastic bear water, then you pour more water on the men, and the players then
don't want juice or even on the feet. That energy drinks like if you on the feet. That when you player drop,
But when you say, I will show you the picture after I capture two players on the side. They're drinking one bag of.
So before we get to our guests, let me just read out the various results across the country on yesterday. Quickly, the National County Sports Meet 2023-2024 March Day 1 results from Voice of Liberia. Bombing won Grand Kimo County 5 homes run to 2. And Bapolu won Mosuralo 2 homes to 1 in keeper category. Nimba won Bon County 9 home run to 1. And Grand Crew won River Says 7 home run to 0. River G 2-1 against Grand Gide. And Sino County 0, Maryland 1 home run. Magibi 0-0, they tie with Grand Bassa. And the football results, Riverside defeated Grand Crew yesterday 1-0. Sino defeated Maryland 1-0 in Fitchtown. Grand Kibon was being defeated by bombing in Monrovia yesterday. And Mosuralo County defeated Bapolu County 2-0 in Monrovia yesterday. And Nimba County drew with Bon County 1-1 in Sannikoli. And Magibi and Grand Bassa drew 2-2 in Kakata yesterday. River G and Grand Gide County game was being postponed. So that's it for the result across the country.
Time is of the essence. Our guest is in. And so, thank you ever so much for exercising patience. He told us that he was going to be 30 minutes late, and we have to accept that. It's normal in broadcasts. And I invited him based on his expertise, given what we've experienced over the weeks and months in our country. He's been in that sector for a very long time, has garnered the experience too from other countries around the world. He has been of great help to his country. He was at the Liberia National Fire Service. He took it from one level to another. So I thought that to get a full understanding of this, we needed the expert. And I got through to him, and he consented. He's no other but Gabriel Imam. He was at the fire service as Deputy Director General for Administration. Let me say thank you so very kindly, Mr. Mann, for accepting our invite, and good to have you on Voice of Liberia 104.1. You are also being held in Kakata, Magibi County, Bon County, and several other counties where we have our structures.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews, and thanks to the family of Voice of Liberia. Matter of fact, I entered here, it felt like I was in a foreign country, you know. Is this station in Liberia or Monrovia?
Where are you?
I'm in Liberia. Man, this is a state-of-art studio, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. The compliment couldn't have come any better, and from such a great statesman. Okay, time is of the essence. You've been following, let's start this way. You've been following the wave of fires across the country. What has been your thinking over those times?
Well, it's been very, very frustrating, worrisome. What is going on today, it is very much unprecedented. We've never seen this before. I know when we took over 2018, there were some fire incidents, but it wasn't as great as it is or bad as it is. So it is worrisome a whole lot. And there are too many fire outbreaks in the country, which we think the government need to step up to be able to put under control. There's nothing that we can politicize about fire. Fire is no man's friend. The other way around, fire is man's friend, because you need fire to cook, you need fire to do a lot of things, and to run a home, to run your company, to run businesses. But equally so, fire has no specific friends, and the government needs to step out. They need to step up.
You want to give an understanding of the fire service in terms of its work and how it moves to avert fire disaster, given your in total knowledge of the Liberia National Fire Service?
Unfortunately, I think fire service is not being supported the way it should be. And I would like to go back to the legislature. When we took over, Honorable Chimba was the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia. And sometimes back, he served the Liberia National Fire Service as director. So when we took over, the first thing I did, and knowing him personally, I went to him, and I talked to him. I said, Mr. Speaker, I am here to see you not as Speaker, but as Director of Fire Service. I still consider you Director of Fire Service. But there is serious issue in fire service. And so we need your support. Well, Mr. Speaker told me. Mr. Speaker then told me, we will see what to do. And nothing was ever done. We met the Liberia National Fire Service with one fire truck. One fire truck and one old water truck, I understand, that was donated by Mill. And then also there was another fire truck that was brought into country. Some other organization gave to President Boakai, then Vice President, which he sent to Lofa County.
So at the time you guys took over the Liberia National Fire Service, you met a single fire truck, active.
A single fire truck, one fire truck with one water truck, which was donated by Mill.
What is the difference between a fire truck and a water truck?
The water tanker basically was used to support the fire truck because the fire truck does not carry much water. So what the fire truck does, sometimes it carries about 800 gallons of water. So as they are using the water to fight fire, the water truck, the water tanker will be there to support by pumping in more water into the fire truck. So those were the kind of equipment we met. Not until we had our first, what we call the International Firefighters Day. President Weah was invited to the program, and on that day he was commissioned the Chief Fire Marshal by the Liberia National Fire Service. At that program, President Weah pledged to give the Liberia National Fire Service 5 fire trucks. Few months later, we saw 5 fire trucks in the country from India. Matter of fact, those trucks came with 45 buses. Those buses were given to NTA, Liberia National Transit Authority, and we received our 5 fire trucks. Meanwhile, before the arrival of the fire trucks, we had gotten 1 fire truck, which the the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration had procured, but did not receive until she left. So we had that truck, and so then 5 more were added, so we had 6 fire trucks. Now, active, plus the one I just told you earlier that President Walker, then Vice President, received, which was sent to Lofa County. So that one was malfunctional, not working, so we had to bring it down to Monrovia and send one other pickup truck, which we refer to as keke in the fire service setting. And so we actually, in total then, we had 7 fire trucks, but 1 was malfunctional. So we had 6. 5 President we have brought, plus the one that was procured by the Sirleaf administration.
6 active trucks.
6 active trucks.
Now, in the Liberian Fire Service, you got, I think, 785 employees from my statistics done. And you got fire all around the place. And Liberian always complaining on the proactiveness of the fire service that has to do with the timely response. In your capacity, what are you doing to respond or address some of the complaints from Liberians?
I think the question would be, in your capacity, what did you do? Or
in the capacity?
Because I'm not in the system anymore. So
Okay.
what did I do? However, the fire service we're talking about, fire service is not a magical institution that would just go to quench fire or extinguish or fight fire. First of all, we have a serious problem. My idea or our idea was that when we took over, we wanted a partnership with the Liberian Water and Sewer Corporation, LEC, Public Works, EPA. So, talking about Public Works, there we'll be talking about alleys, the opening of alleys, so the fire trucks will be able to maneuver between communities where there were fire incidents. You understand? LEC, what you call the other word? Water and Sewer will be there to support us with water. Now, we don't have fire hydrants around the country. We do not have hydrants.
What is fire hydrant?
Those are specific places that water are fetched to fight fire, like in the form of
emergency.
For emergency, in the form of pump, all right? Okay.
So you mean a close by river or reservoir, anything that if the water is running low, they can move in quick, refill, and get back?
It can be anywhere in the town, but once you have water and sewer, working with you, you can find a place or to install the hydrant. You don't just put it anywhere. So we had hydrants around here, but which are malfunctioning. You know, they are malfunctional. So I don't know about them. But we have thought that we needed to even do, or what you call it, boreholes, so that we will be able to get water as quick as possible, as quick as we needed it. But we've never been able to get any support to do those things.
So with all these that you've had, or think these are ways by which fire can be prevented, if they aren't in place, then it means we're going to experience or continue to experience what we are experiencing.
Well, I would say that what fire service would consider, or fire service should consider a success over a period of time or a year, will be fire prevention. So what government needs to do more is to put in more money for fire safety awareness and fire prevention. Fire service job will not be complemented for the numbers of fire they fight, but for the level of education or prevention, the level of education that we give to people when it comes to fire prevention. Because when there's no fire, we have no property destroyed, we have no lives lost. You understand? So we need to put in more money into fire safety awareness. More money. But on the other end, you have little of nothing. You got $60,000.
What was your budgetary allocation, or what was allocated to you when you guys were there?
$1.2 million.
What you guys, how many dollars you guys inherited before your budget went to 1.2?
Well, I read it. I really can't speak to that, but I think we were somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.1 or 1.1, or little less than that.
Now, let's look at the issue of safety. It is burden enough to understand the safety matter like you spoke about. The fire extinguisher is the first hand aid that any resident could use, to quiet down the fire before the arrival of the fire service. Do you think, in your mind, one fire extinguisher is sufficient enough to withstand the pressure of a fire, given the nature of sometimes a story building catching up a fire on a particular floor before the arrival of the fire service? Don't you think it can cause a lot of damage before the arrival of fire service?
So in this case, I have always thought too that fire extinguisher is not the first line of safety. So even if you have 50 fire extinguishers in a room, when fire breaks out and you have to die, you will die. You will definitely die. But what you need to do, what I think we need to do and pay more attention to, is to have what we call the smoke detectors or fire alarms. So if you have the smoke detector, first of all, no fire just come up abruptly like that. There has to be smoke. So once the smoke detector goes off, no matter how deep you will be in sleep, you will have to get up to be able to find your fire extinguishers. Now, having fire extinguisher and not even knowing how to use it, I have seen instances where people driving their cars and then fire catch up in the car, yet they have extinguishers in the car and don't know how to use their extinguishers. So when you have the extinguishers, you have to be taught or trained on how to use the extinguishers. But what you can do most to save yourself is to have smoke alarm or fire detectors in the home. It is helpful. Now, when you do that, once the alarm goes off, your first action will be to get the extinguisher. And you don't just use the extinguisher like that because you see fire. You have to go to the source of the fire. You go down to the source where the fire starts from. If it is current, then you first run to your breaker. You run to your breakers and cut your breakers off. So you don't just blow extinguishers, otherwise you just be wasting your powder for nothing, and the fire will still be there. And now, we got to be telling our public, not all fires you spill water on. Not all fire you spill water on. You see? And fire that comes out of gasoline, you don't spill water on it. You have other chemicals to use.
So given all of these sensitive information about how to prevent fire or discover fire in the home, during your stay at the Liberia Fire Service, what were your involvement in sensitizing people to the outbreak of some of the constrained fire activities in the community?
Well, with our bigger resources that we had, we still did our best by going to schools in communities, talking to the teachers, the students, how to prevent fire and what to do when there is a fire, how to move, and how to escape. We did a lot of trainings in schools, in communities, and we're hoping that the legislature will have to do more by supporting the Liberian National Fire Service. Because people who are dying from fire or whose property getting destroyed from fire are Liberians. Fire not destroying their properties because they are from some kind of tribe or society or organization. Fire is destroying them because they are people, and fire is destroying their properties. That's all the fire knows.
Do you have a say on the perceived mind by many Liberians that And the elite in Liberia would always put forth an ideas or strategies to prevent themselves and leaving the ordinary Liberian on the wayside. That means the Liberian Fire Service has always responded to the elite emergency timely than the ordinary Liberians.
No, not true.
How?
Not because even the elites, they live in communities where, they live in communities where you can't even get cars going, that you would not be able to have the fire truck to go. So, fire service support, fire service assistance or work to the nation is for all Liberians and not a specific people or specific kinds of persons. So, I don't think so. We don't respond to fire because of your status. No, not the case.
So one of the concerns that people have had, and they will place the blame squarely on the Liberia National Fire Service of not being very proactive or just unable to call out fire. They lay out. How you been, you guys, over the time, being able to move through those areas? Because this is one of the reasons why the people will say fire service is not active, fire service is this, fire service is that. The layout, has it been a problem? You think something needs to be done? You think it's one of the reasons why fire service will receive the barrage of criticisms?
There are a lot of things that need to be done. The government needs to ensure that people living in alleyways get to leave the alleyways. The government needs to make sure that they equip public works to be able to work on the alleyways, or those or whoever responsible. Right now, all the alleyways are occupied. People building homes on the alleyways. Now, when you go to talk, or if some other concerned community members speak against that, they say, oh, you get your house and you don't want me to build my part of house. How selfish are you? You understand? But you need to clear the way. Because right now, fire is going to cause serious destruction in this country if we don't do the needful. And I'm saying this, the legislature needs to step up to support the Liberia National Fire Service, irrespective of who is in authority. Liberia is ours today, Liberia will be ours tomorrow, and Liberia will be ours day after tomorrow. And we need Liberia.
Do you people had in the past several fires around the country, but they weren't sequential as we have today. But some of them were magnitudinal. Have you guys put them under control or quench those fires that some of the houses did not burn as the way we see them burning today to ashes, even though some did?
Well, like I said before, we did community engagements. So people in the communities, they knew or they know exactly what to do before fire service gets there. You understand? I remember one time we were called at the legislature to answer to a call, to answer to some questions from Honorable Dixon Sewell, because right behind the fire station in Beaumont Bridge, a house was there and our house was gutted by fire. Honorable Dixon said, oh, it takes just 2 minutes to get there, to fight the fire. But fire service, right behind fire service, the fire service was not there to do that. Even though he said it takes 2 minutes, but if you were riding a motorbike, you would take more than 15 minutes or 20 minutes to get there. So how could a fire truck get there in 2 minutes? You understand what I'm saying? Of course, fire service will not be able to do anything. So what best we can do is to make sure that we fund fire service to do the right thing by even teaching the people since we're not able to buy or we're not able to buy equipment to open alleys or to tell the citizens to leave the alleyway so that we can, what happens is that they're not seeing the future. They're not looking at the future. They're always thinking about today. And we can never develop our country like this.
How many, just do a rough estimation, you don't have to be definitive, how many trucks, fire trucks and water trucks, you think this country will need for the city, the city center, the environs, and beyond?
If possible, each county must have at least 2 fire trucks. The bigger ones must have maybe, when we're talking about counties, because even though we have 15 counties, so we can be talking about 30 fire trucks. You understand? But we don't need gigantic fire trucks. We need these tactical firefighting cars, to be able to maneuver between houses or through the communities and do some other things. You understand? Yeah, we don't need these gigantic trucks because we don't have roads for them. So even if you needed to use them on Broad Street, that is still not a rule.
You mean the ones we have now?
They're too huge. They're too massive. You can't carry those ones we have, you can't carry them to West Point.
Your hand is blocking.
Yeah. Sorry. You can't carry them to West Point.
So what signs? Give a graphic picture. Your audience is very curious.
Okay, you have some cars like the Cobos. You know what I call Cobos? Little Mazda, Kia Motors, yes. Now you can buy those kind of cars and develop them and make them a specialized vehicle, because fire trucks themselves too, when you buy them, you can build or put what you want to put on them. You understand? You go to the company, you say, mount this, do this, and let's make this out of fire truck. So you can do that. So we need those kind of cars. We don't need those massive trucks that can't go anywhere. You have them, they will just be for mere decorations.
How many tons of water each of those trucks contain or carried?
I did tell you, the one I know we had, they would not carry more than 1,000 gallons of water. It's very, very small. So you see, by the time you open the water, in a split second, maybe 50 to 100 gallons gone. And you got to be fighting fire on a building as huge as maybe ATS. What are you going to do there? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Do we have firefighters?
We do. We do. We have professional firefighters, but they are not supported.
Do they have the equipment? That's what you're referencing? The equipment is not there to face, like the situation at the Speaker's house. That fire was massive, very massive.
Very massive. Very massive. So I don't know the firefighters that went there, I don't know what they did, but of course, because they are firefighters, they could never have run into such a fire. You understand? So the best thing they would do is to use whatever available, like the water truck or the fire truck, right? And just blow water on the fire or the chemical needed. If that was in or electric fire, you can't put water on electric fire, because water is a conductor of current as well. You know that. So you can't use water to fight electric fire.
So the water has certain chemical, it's just not natural water?
Yes. It has certain chemicals in it. Some you use powder, some you use foam. You understand? To fight.
So which one do we use, the powder, and which one we use the foam?
The ones you use the powder, you use the gasoline, the foam you use the gas. You use the foam for gasoline.
A gasoline fire.
Right.
Okay.
And
powder for current fire.
Right. And the water you use, the water you also use for the foam. I mean, the current you use for foam. So right. The water you use for like these wooden stuff. Wooden things, and that's it.
So the speaker's house, what kind of water that was needed to be used down there?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't know, and I wouldn't say because I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know what was the cause of the fire.
Yeah, you don't know. We can hold you to that, Mr. Ma. But you can look at those footages that show you saw those footages, and you can deduce from there, given your expertise.
So, when I got, first of all, I went to the speaker's place this afternoon. I was there, and some other government officials went there too. I was there, and I think I saw the president there. So I had to leave. But before I got there, the fire was already extinguished. There was no semblance of fire anymore, like smoke and other things. I didn't see that. You understand? So I don't know what really caused the fire and what sort of chemical they used to put the fire off, or if it was water. But so far as I'm concerned, there was no more fire. But the speaker's property is damaged.
In the process of fighting fire, you earlier said there are category of fire or type of fire that needed to be fight either by powder or maybe some chemical. How does the Liberia Fire Service determine that this fire is caused from this electric shock or it is by gasoline and we have to apply this powder in the water?
Well, the investigators first will go there, or the firefighters will go there. They will do their due diligence, and once it is water, it is wood of like Class A fire that requires water, they will use the Class A. They will use water for the Class A fire. If it is Class B, they will use the necessary kind of the CO or CO2 or something, or some CO stuff for the Class B.
So that means this widely spread statement by Liberians that fire service will come and see the fire and run back for the truck or the truck of water to come and put up the fire. Is that true?
Well, you know,
given what you just said, that the president will have to go and see the fire to determine as to what kind of chemical we have to apply in the water.
That is not the case. I think the reason why people joke fire service about that, come to think about it, you have one fire truck. You went with 800 gallons of water. You blew the water off. You got to run back to get water. That's when they will say fire service will have to go and see what kind of fire it is, and they'll go to get water and come back. No, fire service do not do that.
So how do we reconcile you just saying people will have to go and see the fire to determine what chemical to be applied, and where would that person be and where would the truck be as well?
So you see, when fire service is moving, because of their level of professionalism, when they're moving, they already move with the kind of things that are needed. They got chemicals already mixed. But in fact, in the absence of those chemicals that can be used to put fire or flammables or gasoline fire, what the boys would do, they will use soap foam, put a lot of soap in the water, like tar soap, to be able to create something, and substituting that for the kind of chemical they usually use to fight fire. And so they would go with those components, those kind of stuff. And that's it. So then when they get there and they know what is what, then they start to fight.
There are times they will see the fire and maybe their expectation, the fire, maybe in their thought could be, they will place a call at first, maybe, and the answer could be, it is a story building or maybe just a one-story building, and this is a single-room house that have gotten the fire, but not knowing the nature of the fire or the size of the fire, and just pick up with the chemical and went there. Maybe upon their arrival, they saw the fire has escalated and the chemical carry can now also make it. So would they also drop back home at the Liberia Fire Service office to take another powder?
They go with powder, they go with foam, they go with water. So whichever the case, that particular substance will be used.
So, given up the experience in recent days, ranging from January up to this April, the outage of fire in Liberia is on the increase. And would you mind, by your expertise, telling us what exactly can the Liberia Fire Service do or put in place to curtail some of the outbreak of fire, and what some of the residents too could be involved with to also extend themselves from fire outbreak?
Okay, so before I left the fire service and when we were there, I was working on a program where I thought I would sell to the parliament, or you call it the legislature, and to the Ministry of Finance. And because here's the point, here's my idea. The Ministry of Finance responsible for our financial records. Central Bank keeps our our finances. LRA collects our finances. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So my idea was that, look, after our 8 hours of work, all of us leave our offices. Finance people are gone. Central bank people are gone. Legislators are gone. LRA people are gone. So the program I was working on, which did not come to fruition until we left, was that I would ask the Ministry of Finance to allow us assign 10 firefighters there, so that when finance people are going home, at least we have fire people there. All 10 will not be on the post at the same time. Maybe in the day you use 2, in the morning you use 2.
To raise a line.
The second shift people you use 2 or 3, and the rest you use them for night until the next day. You understand? So you can create, or you find a little spot for us, we put the people there. You understand? And then we do the same thing to Central Bay, and depending on the size of the people, I understand that these buildings that were built by the Chinese people or whatever, like the ministerial complex or the new Capitol building, right? They put all of those equipment in there, right? But you still need professional firefighters to be there. So by the time something spark up, they would have already been on the ground to put things under control even before
the arrival
of the truck. You see? So, yes, that's what we need to do. And then our officials themselves, they too, because they got massive buildings, you understand? These things, I know that the Speaker Holmes has those kind of things. So every other time you can call firefighters or fire people to go and show or train you on some fire drills. You understand? So these are things that we thought we could be doing. Our job is not just to jump in the truck to go fight fire. We should be able to train people how to fight fire before fire service gets there. You understand what I'm saying?
So people will want to know exactly the ideas, the experience the firefighters come with. The experience, I mean, how do they go about acquiring ideas and to be sophisticated enough in fighting fire?
Well, they are trained to fight fire.
Now, who trained them and how they are being trained? That's what we want to know.
For example...
And how they are also being hired.
First of all, for example, we went to the United States. We met some fire people. We went to negotiate for support for the Liberia National Fire Service. We met some people that gave us the opportunity to train 35 firefighters. Like I'm talking about TOT, trainers of trainers. You understand? Mm-hmm. Okay. And these 35 firefighters were to be trained in segments. Or every year, you have 7 sent to the United States to get trained. Then they will come back, and you send another 7. So we went to that process. We were able to sign an agreement, memorandum of agreement, between the Mountain View Fire and Rescue and the Liberia National Fire Service. Of course, I represent the Liberia National Fire Service. I signed for the Liberia National Fire Service. The Minister of Justice, Councillor Musa Dean, signed on behalf of the government. Honorable Samuel Tue signed on behalf of the government that agreement. That agreement then was about $300 300,000 plus. You understand? Now, here is it. So we were told, okay, what you need to do is to transport your people to the United States. Accommodation, feeding, and as a matter of fact, they would have given them stipends voluntarily, voluntary stipends. You understand? So Ebola stepped in. Is that Ebola? Corona stepped in. That agreement was renewed. It was
after Corona.
Yes, even though the Corona was still on, but as Corona was going down, we decided to redo the agreement we did. The same kind of people we signed. We got videos and all of those things to that. So, unfortunately, Corona was still raging. So what we did, we said, well, but by then, we wrote the Ministry of Finance, which was not part of our budget, to support us, to help us. Thankfully, Honorable Tue was kind enough to hear us, and he gave us $51,000, $51,844.
To sponsor the 7 persons?
The 7 persons to go, and that 51,000.
And which year was that?
2020.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, 2020. But that money, it was also, that money would have also provided a piece of car. You understand? So even after the first 7 should have ended their training, the next 7 that will go, they will meet the car to use. But fast forward, we didn't go that far. So the 51,000, what did we do? The heads of fire service, we decided that, okay, we sent for people from Ghana.
Instead of the people going to America for the training,
instead of the people going,
bringing expertise from Africa.
From Ghana, because they could not go due to the Corona, and the money was in our accounts, and we couldn't use the money. We had to write PPCC, requesting them to allow us to use the money for this purpose, but for the same fire training program. So we brought 4 persons from Ghana. And those 4 persons trained 135 firefighters here. So you see, with $51,000, we trained 135 firefighters for one month, one consecutive month. You see? So we have trained firefighters. Before then, we have had several trainings of firefighters. We do. Now, with this case, when I entered fire service, I met 2 great gentlemen who happened to be fire investigators. One of them is Colonel Robert Holder, and the other one is Collie, some Collie.
Yeah. So how did the whole investigation can be like after the house is being burned down, completed to ashes? How can the investigation be done and the investigator will come up with a result determine that the fire caused from this route?
The investigators will go on the scene, but sometimes it can be a hard thing. Sometimes our investigators going on fire scene, they will go in disguise. But that can be the case of a personality like Fonati Kofa, to batch at them or to start hitting them or telling them things. But like our people in ordinary
home.
In ordinary homes, they will want to almost beat the fire because of the perception they have about fire service people. So you think that the fire service man presence would have caused your home not to get burned or your property not to get burned. You understand? But that's not the case. So these guys will go in this, they'll go in disguise to go do their investigation. But then they will determine whether that fire came up from current or candle or mosquito coil or whatever. Now we got to stop using these kind of things. Candle, you use it to see you do 1 or 2 things, you go into bed, you turn it off. If you think you need light and you are forgetful, you put your candle in a bowl, a very wide bowl, you put water in it. Once it melts, it reaches the water, it goes off. Like the mosquito coil, but you don't just leave it on a surface like this wood. You will cause serious damage.
Okay. You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1, Morovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7, Kakata, Magibi County, Voice of Liberia 99.9 90.7 Bond County, and the online radio, www.voiceofliberiaradio.com. Our guest this afternoon is former Director General for Administration, Liberia National Fire Service, Gabriel Mann, with us, sharing his thoughts on how these wave of fires can be prevented, their experience and recommendations. Before we turn to you to have your say or to ask Mr. Mann whatever the question you got, you want to tell us how many fires were you guys able to put off during your time? And how swift were you guys?
Well, we were very swift to some extent, and we, at some point in time, we started working with one other group called My Watchmen. My Watchmen, it was such a way that once there was a fire and you got connected to that My Watchman, it would tell you the distance, the time, and, and place of the fire. So you watch the thing on the screen. It's like a magic. So I think, but, we got the operation people that were always into the firefighting business. I'm actually from administration. So most of these things I already know about, but when it comes to the administrative aspect, then I support it or I handle it from that perspective. So most of these technical things, as a matter of fact, I would have, if I were to be informed earlier, I would have brought in one or two experts as well, yeah. So, yes, like my watchman was very helpful in trying to direct some of our operations in the Liberia National Fire Service. But nobody would do business, no one would do business just like that. Meanwhile, my watchmen, I know they did support us. In some ways, they gave us fuels, they gave us telephones, some gadgets to be able to work with them and all of that. We have had some support from Orange. We got it?
Lone Star?
No, Orange.
Orange,
the cell phone company, Orange, Liberia. Yeah. And then, before I forget, the UNDP, that was 2 years ago, were able to support us with massive equipment, firefighting equipment.
What kind of equipment did they give you? How many?
Different kinds, ladders, break-in tools, ladders, break-in tools, chemicals.
They included masks and respirators?
Yes, they did give us masks as well. They gave us, I think I remember they gave us something they call a defibrillator or so. Yeah, they gave us too many things, but I can tell
So you guys had sufficient to have been very proactive, but were you?
We were proactive.
How many fires did you quench?
We fought a lot of fire. I can tell you more than 800 or more than 700 or more than 1,000.
How did you guys receive the criticisms that came from the public that you weren't proactive enough before you got there? Deaths occurred, house burned, and you were badly criticized over the time. How did you guys receive it to motivate you, if you guys were ever motivated by them?
Well, it was unfortunate that we'd be badly criticized, and it was very much unfortunate, but all we needed to do was to be focused and doing what we were able to do within our powers, and you understand, because we couldn't do anything extra. You gave fire service $60,000 for operations for a whole round year. That means that you got to divide 60,000 by 12 months, that's 5,000 a month, to be able to buy, to support, to do some operational activities. But then, sometimes you don't get the $5,000.
So do a quick projection before we go to the line, Mr. Mann. How many dollars, or what do you think can be and should be the budget now for the Liberia National Fire Service to be very robust and swift in responding to fire disasters?
Like I said, when we were there, I think on 2 occasions I went to the house.
You're doing a projection for now, not the past.
Yeah. I'm just trying to tell you this. So I was asked, what do you need? I said, I need $5 million. And of this $5 million, I wouldn't mind pumping in $3.5 million into fire safety awareness. So a lot of times we make requests to the Ministry of Finance, we talk about awareness, and we ask for money, big money. We never talk about fuel. We never talk about fixing cars. Matter of fact, in our budget, there is nothing for repairs. When it comes to vehicle repairs, we don't have it. So at this point in time, this new government, if they were to step out, or if this new government would be able to step out fire service budget from 1.2 million to at least 5 million. If they can't do 5 million, let them make it 4 million. It is not how much cars, but how much you pump into fire safety awareness, education.
0770-907-907. You can call them to have your say, ask whatever the question you got for Gabriel Mann, former Director General, Liberia National Fire Service for Administration, our guest, sharing his thoughts on what can be done to curb the many fire disasters across Liberia. 0770-907-907. Go straight to the point. Time is of the essence, please. Hello?
Hello?
Your name and where you call from?
My name is Justin Shacklock, and I'm calling from Finance Bay.
Let's hear you, Justin.
Quickly, let me just say this to our people there, that a fire issue is a very serious matter. As long as national government cannot come in to decentralize this process to have fire trucks all around the city, around the country, trust me, every day there will be fire and the fire service cannot save the property. Because how will you have
Chief.
Aswan Street to respond to all the country they take it around here? It's not possible.
Thank you. Hello? Hello, you are on the air.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Your name and where you called from?
Okay, my name is Mr. Tier, calling from Momotan.
Let's hear you, Tier.
Yeah, the expert that in that when the government called him now to work with the fire service, will he do that?
He will attempt that. Thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Your name and where you call from? Lower your radio.
Hello?
Yes. What is your name and what you've got to say?
I'm calling from New Jersey. I'm Emmanuel Bowen.
Let's hear you, Emmanuel.
My brother, we are in serious problem because the Ministry of Commerce, Public Works, they do not monitor the business people bringing this appliance. And I have serious convenience that the reason why people houses are burning, it is because the appliance that we have on the market are not guaranteed.
Okay, so that is your concern. You're attributing most of the fires to substandard appliance or appliances.
Substandard materials on the market.
Okay, thank you. Hello? Good afternoon. You are on the air. Yes?
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Fine. What is your name and where you call from?
My name is Aaron. We are calling for Johnson Street.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, let me say thanks to Honorable Mark for the explanation. You see, the legislature are the one that's killing us. Each of them ready for the $5,000 car, but they're giving the fire service one truck. What they can't see reason to increase the truck of the fire service. They are the problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. 0770 907 907 0770 907 907. Hello? Hello? 0770 907 907. Few calls. Mr. My respond, then we get out. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yeah? Speak louder. Speak louder. Let's hear you, Christian. Increase your voice. We're still finding out how to understand you.
Okay, yes. One of my issues I'm really having problem with the people of this country is that they lack the political last everything. People do their own stuff and damage their house, you know, and try to politicize this stuff. It's not good.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah?
I'm calling from Global Farm Community.
You said, what do you need? Lower your radio. Your radio don't have to be loud.
I'm remember like you're calling from Global Farm Community.
Remember, Lucky, let's hear you.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say that there's plenty of these houses where we really need to check what it costs.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Hello?
Hello, Sekou Sherif.
No, this is not Sekou Sherif, Sam Andrew. Sekou Sherif is in the morning. He's on tomorrow morning.
Okay, how you doing, my brother?
Yeah, fine. What's your name and where you call from?
Thank you very much. I call from District 17, Broadview. The name is Sidiki Musa Musukula Dolly, and I'm joining you from a resident in Broadview here.
Let's hear you, Mr. Dolly.
Okay, let me say hats off to Mr. Mao, and thank him very much for your work at the level of the fire service. But I have a couple of concerns. One of the concerns has to do with one of our brothers used to be on air talking about from the state that he has some firefighting equipment that the government CDC administration should give him duty free or should they allow him to bring those equipment in Liberia. I'm thinking whether he ever made an attempt to do so. The second one has to do with, like he spoke about how fire been catching on houses in Liberia or Monrovia, meaning we should forgo the mosquito coil, we should forgo the candle. I want Mr. Man to let us know or to tell the public that whether they've been advocating for duty free when it comes to mosquito spray. Because mosquito spray is very expensive. And
all right. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm
Junior? Let's hear you, Junior.
Okay. I kind of asking the steel gas if when one point to work, whether you will do the work.
Okay. Thank you ever so much. If he's called upon whether he will do the work?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Mr. Mai, you can respond and include your closing in it. We've got the news coming up at 6.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks to all the callers and thanks for your questions. Let me start with Junior. Mr. Andrews, quickly, before we left office, you visited me and asked me the same question, if I would work, if I wanted to. All I said that I'm saying to Junior now and the listening public is that I am a Liberian. If you think I am qualified or I have done something good, then it's up to you. And I think the problem we have is we must be able to put people in places for what they can do best. But at this time, I'm really not craving, I'm not really craving for job. I need job, but not in this kind of manner. If anybody wants to call me to serve my country, I will serve my country because I want to live in a better country now and after. So, thank you. And then I come to the duty free. You talk about somebody who who tried to give the Liberian people equipment. That's a serious problem we have in this country.
Yeah, he's attributed that to the coming in of these equipments, substances, so that's the reason for the fire.
No, that wasn't Sekou's point. Sekou was talking about duty free. Somebody has equipment to be brought.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
Problem with duty free. Like I said, we have gone to the States and we made some arrangement. We also got some fire equipment. We brought them into the country. We pay money to free them ourselves, and nobody gave us duty free. So that's what the government should be doing, my brother, but it really hasn't been that way. And then the president will talk about the substandard equipment being brought into the country by our vendors. Of course, yes, commerce needs to step up. You go to buy electric wire, and somebody will tell you, this one is European wire, this one is Indian wire, this one is Nigerian wire. And even though this man is selling all these wires or types of wires, he will tell you, say, the Nigerian one is the best. The Indian one, when you turn it like this, it will break. It can break like a dry steak, but at the same man selling those things. So he will tell you that, so you choose what you want. You see? So Congress need to work with these kind of people. But this is not just wire alone. You talking about receptacles. You're talking about sockets. You're talking about breakers. Some of those things, by the time you use them 2-3 times, you find mold on them. You see dust coming out of it. How is our commerce ministry working? They need to step up, you know. So that is that. Mr. Tia, thank you also for your compliment. Then we will do our best to share our ideas with the current administration and see what we can do for our country. Liberia needs better. Liberia deserves better. We don't need to be consumed by fire. Even if somebody said they were prepared to do certain things for certain things, let us pray and work hard. Prayers without, faith without work is meaningless. We need to work hard. We need to know what is good for us.
Okay, so we've come to the end of the show. Thank you ever so much, Mr. Gabriel Ma. I appreciate your presence with us today. We look forward to talking with you as the issues unfold in Liberia, because we don't have much time. Yeah.
So close
we
out of time.
Seconds. We've got the news on. The news people are ready. We don't have much time again.
Okay, so quickly, I just wanted to say something about the chief, the current fire chief, who said that we have nothing we left nothing. I want him to know that we left 7 fire trucks. When under his administration, we had nothing. President, we have bought 5 fire trucks for us, and we got 9 operational cars.
You said that in your intro.
we got 9 operational cars.
Okay, we'll talk that another time.
Okay.
We'll talk that, don't worry. The radio station is at the disposal of the people. It is a public broadcaster, but time is of the essence. We'll have to make way for the news. He's Gabriel Mann, former Director General for Administration, Liberia National Fire Service, was calling to share his expertise with the wave of fire in Liberia. Edwin Drivers here, Patrick Sa on the camera. My name is Sam Andrews, and this is how we go home. A repeat of Good Morning Liberia is on this evening at 7 with Sekou Sharif and Samira Walla. Shalom.
Don't trouble nothing too much, you know.